Make sure I get these likes up. Get these likes up. We have 93 likes. 251 people in here. Get these likes up. 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 Going on? Welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. Let me introduce the crew. We got Courtney. We got Chicago Rilla. We got Anton. We got Kay. And we got our guest Kim. Welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. Let's get this show started. How y'all doing?
What it do? What the business is?
Man, y'all always got like a little delay when I ask that question, man. Are you guys comfortable or are y'all uncomfortable right now?
We might be checking out the new digs where you at right now. Like you in a new setup.
No, I ain't a new setup, man. I'm just in a little temporary spot for right now. See, Anton got that hoodie on. It's hoodie season. Chose violence tonight. Pull up on me. Pull up on me.
Might get a little bit uncomfortable. We'll see what happens.
Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Before we get the show started, let's get the house in order. Make sure you guys get these likes up. Please get these likes up. Also, share. The show is just about to begin, and it's going to be a great one. I would hate for somebody to miss it. So get those likes up. All right, first topic of the night. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. I've already been asked, what's this going to be about? The truth hurts. What's going on with it? I'm going to start it off with the news. Bill Gates. Bill Gates is definitely heavy in the news right now. And guess what? We learned some truth. I was listening to Anton's platform, and he spoke about it. And also something else that I noticed, and Anton did point it out, is that Kevin Samuel's been speaking about this all the time, is high value man don't cheat, they exercise their options. And clearly Bill Gates had options. And that's something that we've been telling you guys quite so often right now, is that high value man or man that focus on their purpose, that are driven, that they get the respect and they have the option to exercise their options. So I want to kind of dive into this topic first right here, as far as with the Bill Gates. When you guys first heard it, what were your thoughts? I'm gonna start with you, Chicago Rilla.
It wasn't no surprise. I mean, you know, they've been married 27 years. You know, they got business together. They got the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation together. But when you know, when I first heard it, it wasn't no really big surprise. I mean, you look at the list of like the world's richest people, and you see who's still married and who's getting divorced or whatever. So it looks like they had their affairs lined up in order. They released a joint statement, And if I'm not mistaken, she got 1.8 in her coffers that same day. So, well, no big surprise to me. No big deal.
Go to UK. Bill Gates exercising his options, being able to have the option. How you feel about that?
So I was actually talking to my mom about this yesterday, and I think she said she read that he like hooked back up with some woman from like one of his exes from a long time ago. So like it's another, probably a little bit older woman. Maybe things were just going bad for them. I don't know. But when you get to that level, I feel like, and where you can just have whatever you want, you make choices based on whatever you want. I am not surprised. I don't think that Melinda is mad or anything. I think that the time has just come, and that's cool for them, I guess.
Trying to see you shaking your head. You don't agree?
I'm just observing right now, but we're going to find out. We're going to get down to the bottom of this one. I was looking forward to this day. I was absolutely looking forward to the day.
I don't think I know enough about the situation, but that's what I heard about him.
Well, you need to speak more about what you do know. Like what we do know is that he's able to exercise options. He's in a position where, she can't trip. So that's something that you can speak on. Courtney.
Yeah.
Bill Gates exercising them options. What are your thoughts? Can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, great. My apologies. I saw, Anton, your show that you did about the breakdown, which I thought was absolutely phenomenal. I saw that you got digged in more information about, this woman that he was with, and he exercised his options to be with her. They were in an arrangement. And I thought it was kind of awesome because we spoke about this not even a month ago about high-powered men, high-value men with money. They have arrangements and the women are okay with it. Not only are they okay, they usually pick the woman or, they have a certain agreement. So I was surprised. I was surprised of the divorce because they already had a set agreement. The woman, and, if I'm wrong, Anton, definitely let me know because you did your research on it. I read a little bit about it as well. The woman was already there, the ex-girlfriend, before he even got married, and she actually told him to marry her. So it was an arrangement. They had it for almost 30 years. So because of that, because it was agreed upon, because it was so it happened for a very long period of time, I was actually quite surprised that they get divorced. And I don't know what she would divorce him about. I guess we'll find out over time. But they had an agreement. She agreed with it. They had trips together. So yeah, I was completely surprised.
Hey, Anton, do you have some information about as to why they got divorced?
No, I don't have any information as to why they got divorced. But I'm gonna let Kim speak, and then ladies first, and then I'm gonna do what I do as usual. So,
all right, Kim, I know you heard all the great news. Well, not great news, but you heard the news about Bill Gates, him exercising his options, him having an agreement with his wife, him being able to have some chill time with his mistress. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't understand if they had an agreement.
They had agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been confirmed they had an agreement.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't understand the divorce. Then that makes me wonder maybe there was something more to it than that. That maybe we don't know about, or that's not in the media, because with the agreement, why get a divorce then if he didn't do anything that she already, should have expected anyway. So that makes me think that something else was involved.
Okay, I want to ask you this. When it comes to high value men, do you feel that as though they can exercise their options a little bit more? Or men, it may not be high value men because everybody doesn't fall in that category, but men that's on their purpose, men that are successful, that's been consistent throughout the years, do you feel like they have the choice to be able to exercise the options?
I mean, I think they can do whatever they want. But if they make a commitment to someone where they are agreeing to be faithful and they make that promise to someone, then no. I think it depends on who it is that they're marrying and what kind of promise did they make to that person. So can men do those things because they're high value? I mean, yeah, sure. They can do whatever. Men can do anyone can do whatever they want. But I think the problem comes in when you've made that promise to someone and then you break that promise, when you're lying about it, and those types of things come into play. So that's where I think it gets.
Where did you get the lying part from and promise? Where did that come from?
I'm just saying in general, when people get married, if they promise to be faithful, they promise to be loyal to each other. That comes in when you have conversations with the person that you're marrying. I mean, if that's
but faithful even in the vows, the faithful in the vows, the context matters, because faithful, you got to understand that when these vows were conceived, when they were put in place, right? Mm-hmm. Faithful, that's more of a newer thing, number one, because for the longest time, dating back to who knows when, men have always had multiple wives. This whole monogamy thing is a newer thing. That's number one. But faithfulness does not necessarily relate to you being with one woman. You can be faithful to our union. You can be faithful to the fact that I'm always going to make sure that you're taken care of for the rest of your life. You can be faithful to the idea that we are understanding that marriage is a business, which is why you have a contract, which is why you have a license in the state. Marriage is a business first. And the sooner that women understand that, along with the idea that we are not the same, it's not just that anyone can do anything type of thing, because for the longest, if you understand the business of marriage, because marriage is a business first, you would understand that women do not have as much leverage as men, which is why you see the majority of women, all of the laws is still tailored towards helping women get the most out of men, which is why men are still complaining despite all of the progress that we say we've made from the feminist movement as far as improving women's lives and their choices and their ability to do and say whatever it is they want to say. Yet we still have these archaic laws that do not align with or support the idea behind the fact that women are no longer looked at as the weaker vessel in women's eyes. So when you take that into consideration, you also have to add the context to the conversation to make sure that we fully understand what we're talking about. Marriage is a business first, and it's not led by love. And the whole idea that we're looking at love first and the idea behind partnering is the reason why we have a huge divorce rate and people not getting married as much as they did back in the day.
So regardless of marriage being a business, which I'm not disagreeing with, regardless of love isn't first, which I'm not disagreeing with, if two people come to an agreement together and have that conversation, and the expectation is that you are the only one for me, I want to spend the rest of my life with you and only you, regardless of whatever else that you mentioned, if that conversation is being had and that expectation is there, and then they go behind your back and they're with someone else and they're lying about where they've been, they're lying about who they, what they're doing, who they're, spending this time with, that's wrong, because we had an agreement from the beginning that it was only us and you didn't.
But again, this is extras that you're throwing in. You throwing in caveats. Nobody said anything about their relationship or anybody else's relationship for that matter, because one of the things that I do agree with you is you have to be straightforward and truthful from the beginning. But nobody said that every relationship was based off the idea that it's just going to be me and you and that's it.
Oh, I didn't say that either. But I was asked, what did I think about what happened, with Bill Gates? And that's why I said, they had that agreement. So I don't understand the
Who told you that they had that agreement? Because one of the things that was revealed was that his ex-girlfriend, who he had an agreement that he would go and visit her and spend time with her every single year, that was a part of the agreement, right? One of the things that he got permission from the ex-girlfriend that he would visit every single year. to even marry the Melinda chick. So the ex-girlfriend was first, if you really want to put it in context as far as their agreement. Love had nothing to do with it. It was all business.
You don't think Bill Gates loves Melinda?
Yeah, he loves her, but see, here's the thing. Just because you love someone does not mean that that's the foundation of what it is that y'all building together.
I understand, but you just said love doesn't have anything to do with it.
Love doesn't have anything to do with the business of marriage. It doesn't.
I mean, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, we can't assume to know, like, what Bill Gates feels about Melinda or his ex, the one, you know, that we've been talking about this whole time.
But I think the only thing that's coming up amongst the women is the feelings. I never talked about feelings in the first place. I only talked about the business of marriage.
Yeah. And I think it's important to know, too, that the ex was there before Melinda, probably still there. So there's a reason why he married her. And I'm going to assume that he didn't marry her just because of love. I'm pretty sure he loved his ex. That's why she gave permission. Yes, you need to marry her. It's a great business move. So that marriage, it shows that it wasn't about love. He married her because, again, like previous show before, she looked good on paper. It was a reason why they had to marry, for him to get access of where he is now. So I don't believe it. He could have fallen in love with her for sure. They've been together a long time, but that was a complete business move. And the ex was there beforehand, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be there after the fact.
What you think, Chicago Real? I see you over there.
Yeah, I'm really listening because I'm read up on it a little bit. I don't feel like I even have enough information to chime in on this particular situation. But I mean, from what I understand of the arrangement that he had with the ex and everything else, you know, I don't think it's something that we find uncommon for that stratosphere of men. But you know, this whole question around, you know, who gets to exercise options and, you know, things of that nature. You know, I'm just really trying to I'm listening, and then I'm trying to figure out how that tamps down to the average person, you know, the everyday person, the person that's going to the construction worker, the person that's working in the coffee shop. How does that translate to them? Because when you talk about the Bill Gates and that upper echelon and those people who are in the top 1%, 10%, 15%, yeah, we know. I mean, that deal that he had, to everybody's point, who's more knowledgeable about it, and for what I read too, you know, that the ex-girlfriend, the everything that was written in it is consistent with the character of who Bill Gates is. But that's a different set, a different type of man. You know, what I mean? So I'm being honest. I'm listening.
Why you say it's a different type of man?
He's a man.
Top 1%, top 10%, top 15%. They move completely different.
He's still a man.
Really? Or do listen, if you worth $3 million or you worth $300 billion, you still put on your pants the same way, and you still should be looking at marriage from a business perspective first. I don't understand why it's hard to translate that into the regular guy. We see guys get hosed every single day in court and family court, the whole 9 yards. So if the way that I translate it from the regular down to the regular man is that you take the same approach, as far as, of course, the dynamics is different, and of course you can learn to love the person that you with and all that other type of stuff. But I think that we would be a lot more successful, not only as a community, but also as individuals, if we learn from the idea that marriage could be a lot more successful if we approached it and had a different mentality towards it.
I have something to say too.
Go ahead.
Okay. And just to bring it down to, you know, the regular people, like, you know, not in the top 1%. How many times have you heard a woman say, my God, we was together for 5 years. As soon as we broke up, he married someone within 3 months. That happens a lot. A lot of men are in love with a woman, but because she doesn't align with what he wants, but she has the passion and he, you know, she makes him feel a certain type of way. However, when he's looking to marry a woman, that might not align with what he needs as far as him fulfilling his purpose. So therefore, he can be with a woman that has passion and love and all that. However, they break up and 3 months later, he finds a woman that aligns with him and marries her.
I mean, but think about it though. Like, it makes sense. The interesting thing about it is that, like, for example, I look at, and I had a conversation on my channel about prenups, right? And the biggest opposition seems to come from women, when the very nature of a woman is to be hypergamous, which means that she looks at the whole idea behind finding a mate as a business proposal from its very inception. Women are hypergamous, which means that they're going to go with the best option available. And I've been saying it since day one. Women date up and men date down. And when you look at that dynamic, you have to understand that subconsciously or consciously, women by default are looking at relationships from a business perspective in its entirety. So then it's hypocritical to come back and say, well, love this and love that, or so on and so forth, when that don't align with the very thing that you're seeking in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
since go ahead.
I think that who you marry is one of the biggest financial decisions you make, probably the biggest one that you make in your life. I definitely get the whole like business aspect of it. I think that it's more complicated than that though. Like, love does come into that. How you feel about the person comes into that. Your attraction to the person comes into that. Like, all those things work together. In terms of Bill Gates, like, I'm not even going to pretend like I know about richest man on earth problems, because I don't, but I'm assuming that him and Melinda had some kind of deal worked out. I don't know enough details, like what Chicago was saying, but she's going to be straight regardless. Like, she's not just some regular woman. She got all types of things going on with her. So I don't know enough about it, but in terms of like very rich men exercising options, I mean, yeah, it happens. But like Kim was saying,
so let me ask you a question, Kay. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
honestly?
Go ahead.
Why do you get married?
Why do people get married? I mean, different people get married for different reasons. Some people rush straight into it.
Why would you? No, not different people. Why would
you're
you
talking about
get
me?
married? Yes.
Me?
Yes.
I would get married in terms of, I mean, because the person aligns with what I'm trying to do in my life. I align with what they're doing in their life. We are working together towards building something together. We love each other. We care about each other. We have each other's best interests in mind.
But why do you need marriage for that? Everything you name, you can do without marriage. Why would you need marriage for that?
There's tons of benefits of marriage in terms of.
Oh, so now we're talking about the business aspect of it.
I just
because
said
everything you said, but I'm just saying.
I didn't disagree with you, Anton. What you
I
doing?
know, but I'm not saying that you disagree with me, but I'm using your narrative to prove a point. My point is that everything that women say when it comes to love and building together, and I want somebody to align with my principles and all of that, you don't have to get married for that. No woman has to get married for that. So I'm trying to understand for all of the women, not necessarily you, but for all of the women that have this narrative or this perspective that says that, well, marriage is this, and we felt like this, and this is what we said we was going to be together or whatever. You don't have to be married for that. You can keep it moving and lay up and play house or hold hands and walk to the park and all of this other type of stuff and feel great about each other. So why do you even include marriage into that if that's not a business decision in itself?
So you're asking, like, why do some women try to act like marriage is not a business decision at all?
Why do women lead with love when they talk about marriage versus looking at the aspects of it when we talk about business?
In my experience, I don't know any women who are just like, oh, I just love them. I don't care about anything else. Like, I don't know many people like that. I'm not saying they don't exist, but that's not a common narrative that I hear.
Okay, so let me ask you another question.
Is it a common narrative that you hear?
Yes, and I'll ask Kim. Kim, does how well a guy does, how much he makes, does any of that factor into? Can he just be a Starbucks barista for the rest of his life? But he's a great person and he loves your socks off, and the fact that he only works part-time means that he can lay up under you all day. Is that cool?
No, I don't think.
Oh, what? Wow. Okay. All right, cool. I get it.
No, they lay up under me all day long. No, that's not cool.
Come on. Why not? That's love. He would rather spend his time with you than spend it at his job or doing something that would, require him to use more of his shoulders and his muscles. Why wouldn't you want him up under you all day so he can show you how much he loves you?
No, I don't want to take care. I've already raised a child.
Say that one more time.
I've already raised a child. I don't want to raise another child.
Oh, okay. I got you. So love isn't the biggest thing then, is what you're saying?
No, it's not.
It's a part of it. I think there's a lot of parts to marriage, and love is part of that, but it's not the only part. I mean, I just think there's a lot of parts.
Interesting.
I think that a lot of people equate love to a lot of things that aren't love. People equate love to commitment. People equate love to financial stability and being taken care of. People equate love to not being cheated on. But the thing is, love is literally just the feeling aspect. I don't personally think that that's the number one thing in a marriage. Absolutely not. There's so many other things that need to be in place. Love is just the glue that's there when you're like, damn, like what's going on? And it just kind of keeps you attached to that person, even if things are going bad or whatever. But I don't know.
The love aspect does?
The love aspect, I think, is just the thing that keeps you attracted and keeps you with that person. I don't think it's the most important thing, though, when dealing with another person. Why are you laughing?
Beautiful. This is beautiful.
What'd you laugh at?
I disagree.
Because I can't wait to chop this clip up and put it on YouTube and see what everybody else says. It's going to be the most phenomenal segment we ever had. I love you guys.
Why?
Hey,
I
love y'all. I love this audience. You guys are lit. I rock with y'all. And even though I can't read the comments right now because I'm so in tune with what Kay and Courtney and Chicago and Kim is saying right now, I can't wait to go back and look at all of the comments. You guys are phenomenal. I rock with y'all.
Well, I was going to say I disagree. I don't think love is a feeling. Love is action. It's a verb. So what you do in a relationship that's the love part. It's not the feelings. Feelings are fleeting. I can like you, love you, and then next week you get on my nerve and I can't stand to see your face. In a relationship, especially if you're in a long relationship, there's sometimes you look at that person like, why in the world did I choose you? Those are realistic things that happens in a long committed relationship. Sometimes you don't want to be around that person. That person disgusts you. Sometimes what in the world? But it's the love aspect as far as, what was being done in that relationship, the commitments, it was the action.
But commitment and love aren't the same thing, because someone can love you and not be committed.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation, because I do believe that you can love someone and make a mistake.
That's the same conversation.
Well, you can love someone.
Well, I'm gonna let y'all rock. Go ahead. Do y'all do?
Well, no, I'm just saying you can love someone and you can make mistakes. But love, again, is not a feeling.
It is, because you can love someone and cheat on them. You can love someone and not, be considerate of certain things. Like, people think that love means all these other things. Love is just the feeling. The other things are the other things.
Love is not a feeling.
Well, I guess it depends on the context, because it's almost like looking at or defining friendship, right? Because, like, for example, if you look at people from a biblical perspective and the foundation of who you are as spirituality, then your idea of what perfect love would refer back to what Jesus said, and that it said, love the world so much that he gave his only begotten son. That's the whole idea behind that love. It's called a perfect love. So it depends on the context. And I think that we probably would have to have a show in which we would have to do a deep dive into the context of what we would define as love and how we apply it to society today. But I think that according to how people today in 2021, how they say they love each other and then do each other dirty, how they say I love you and then they'll stab each other in the back, the whole concept of that is diluted so much to where you can't even apply that when it comes to marriage, in my opinion.
Yeah. And you talk about biblically love. I mean, if you're talking that way, love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious, love is not boastful. That is the definition of love. None of that is a feeling, is action words. I'm not envious of you.
Well, actually, the definition of love is an intense feeling of deep affection. So that is literally the definition of love.
Well, hold on.
So I agree with you on that. But it is also a feeling. It is both things.
Well, let me go back, Kim, because I don't think you heard me at first. What I said, if we're talking biblically, I didn't say we're going to Webster. I said if we're talking what Anton was saying in the Bible specifically says what love is.
You did say Bible, but you also said that was the definition of love. And I said, well, actually, the definition of love is an intense feeling of deep affection.
Yeah, but
right.
Okay, so
and that is literally the definition is feeling.
Let me ask you a question, Kim.
At a time.
Do you think that the dictionary can define the definition of friendship in its entirety? Or do you think that is more to it? Do you think it's layers?
Of course, there's more to it than that. But you can't say that love isn't a feeling when that is literally part of the definition. Is there more to it than that? Yeah, I didn't say there wasn't.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If I love my family so much that I really don't feel like going to work every day to provide for them, I'm tired. It's a feeling, but I do it anyway. Is it still defined? Led by a feeling?
Like I said,
or is love doing a thing that you don't want to do when you don't want to do it? In that instance,
love can
that's
be.
Not the love part, though. That's not the
sure
love part, though, right? Yes, I'm sure. That's your commitment. That's your commitment to your family.
So listen,
that's your commitment, and that's your duty as a man with your family.
Oh,
you can love them.
Now we're going to duty.
There's other things other than love. People like to put love in this bubble with all the other words. And it's when love is literally the feeling aspect. Everything else is something else that has a word. Commitment, duty, obligation, whatever it may be. But all of those things aren't the same as love necessarily. Because there's plenty of people that love someone who don't do those things. And some people might say, no, because love is an action. No, it's a feeling. That's what love is.
I'm gonna let Chicago rock.
I mean, and in terms of the Bible, okay, but everyone does not subscribe to the Bible.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
them?
The context. But that's what I'm saying is the context matters. It depends. You can't just entirely define. You can set a foundation by defining it by the dictionary. But in order to have an intelligent conversation and to be able to go through the layers of what it is that we're talking about, especially as it pertains to marriage, you can't just stand on what the dictionary is saying. You also have to take into consideration people's backgrounds. You have to take into consideration what people believe, all these other things. So what I'm saying is that to define it as just a feeling, from there, without taking into consideration all of the context that go along with it, is short-sighted.
No, I think it's actually.
You next.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
You want me? Go ahead. You want to go, Chicago?
Go ahead.
So I feel like this is the thing. Love is a feeling that you may have, right? It's not necessarily connected to all these other qualities that you may require in a mate. People want to say they are, but it's not. Love is the feeling aspect. If you are, let's say you, Anton, you love your family, you're going to do anything for them, whatever. There are other words to describe those things. You're committed to your family. You're dedicated to your family. You want to see the best going on for your family. People have taken love and said, oh, love means all these things. That's why when any little thing happens, they say, oh, you don't love me. And it's just like, no, someone can cheat on you and love you for sure.
Can they?
But some people disagree.
I'm not saying you're right or you're wrong, but can they? If somebody says they love you, would they cheat on you?
It depends on the person. That's the thing. Love is a feeling. Some people don't smile.
Maybe I like your teeth. Dang. Maybe I like your smile first.
Don't smile, Anton.
Go ahead, Chicago.
I do want to. I'm gonna let Chicago rock.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I
Chicago.
was going to say, like, while we were having this conversation around what love is and isn't, you know, I think when we look at how words are used, and because context does matter, I agree in that situation. But I was also looking up, you know, there are 4 ways that you use love in the New Testament, which is written in Greek. So I took the liberty of looking them up. Those 4 Greek words are eros, storge, philia, and agape. And most times when you're looking at love being translated in the Bible, you gotta go to the original Greek translation and see which one are they using. Are they using agape? Are they using eros? Now, each one of these words are characterized by romantic love, family love, brotherly love, and then God's divine love. So to Courtney's point, when you go to 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8, you're exactly right. All those things in those 4 verses describe it's a verb, it's an action. I think, you know, for the Western culture, we have, you know, leveraged it more as a feeling. And I think everything back into what Anton is saying is that when you lead with the romance, when you lead with the feelings, it doesn't give you a solid foundation with which to operate and base that marriage relationship on. So that was my thought.
And I'll say this, once I do get married, I definitely want a man to love me like God specifically said what love is. I want someone to love me and be kind. The love is patient. I want that love. I don't want someone to love me because they feel like it. I need to show actions, and I would definitely reciprocate. So I'd rather have God's love than the Webster Dictionary of love.
Well, a conversation I was literally having with my girl was, you know, what happens when the love isn't there? What anchors us when the love isn't there? What you know, are you leaving? What happens? So you have to, you know, be rooted in something bigger than yourself. And that's what marriage becomes. It's something bigger than yourself. That's what the family is. It's something bigger than yourself.
Hey, you guys, since we're talking about the truth hurts, I want to ask you guys, the ladies, a hypothetical question. I'm gonna start with you, Kay. So let's just say that you're a single mother of 3 kids, right? You got a 16-year-old daughter. You have a 12-year-old daughter, and you have a 7-year-old son.
That's a fleet. That ain't just 3. That's a whole fleet, bro.
All right, so you're a single parent, right? And you're cooking dinner, cooking steak that night. Who gets the biggest steak?
My man.
Just said you're a single
Wait.
parent. So,
single.
So yeah, you're a single parent.
Sorry.
You have 3 children, right? You have a 16-year-old daughter, you have a 12-year-old daughter, and you have a 7-year-old son. Who gets the biggest piece of steak? Juicy.
Probably the 7-year-old son.
I'm so proud of you, Kay. I
Kim,
am incredibly proud of you.
I'm gonna ask you the same question.
7-year-old son. Don't be proud. Anton,
I get the biggest steak.
You said what?
Who get the biggest steak?
I do. I get the biggest steak.
Okay. Courtney, you.
I'm going to agree with Kay on this one.
Oh,
What?
Courtney, what's going on?
Oh,
You okay?
Yes, I understand that the 7-year-old can't eat that much, but I just wanted to kind of get you guys' thoughts on it. Kay, can you explain to me as to why the 7-year-old son would get the biggest piece of steak? I mean, granted that he's going to eat it all.
You're saying even though he's not going to eat it all?
Yeah, even though he's not going to eat it all. Just tell me why you thought first the 7-year-old son.
Because I feel like, so first of all, he's 7 and he's still growing. So I want him to have the more food, you know. And I also would like to instill in him like that just happiness that he would feel by getting the most or the biggest.
Okay.
I think those types of things are really important for little kids,
Shh.
and especially little boys. So, you know,
there's no right or wrong answer here. I'm just asking a question.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
You know, don't listen to Anton. You know, don't let him sway you.
I'm not listening to Anton.
No, I'm not talking about you.
I'm not. Oh,
okay. Kim, can you explain to me as to why you would get the biggest piece of steak?
You know, I was sort of kidding, but for me, it would go to whoever wanted the biggest piece.
Look at, she's really so uncomfortable right now.
No, I'm good.
Answer the question.
If a 7-year-old boy, I would not, you know, give the biggest piece to him.
Well, okay, let me ask you this:
who
would get their plate first? Maybe that's a better question. Who would get their plate first?
You know, it's that's not the way that we did things growing up, where someone got a plate first. We sat at the table, and if I had that many children, we're sitting at the table with plates at the table and the food in the middle, and you get your own food. Like,
you see what's wrong with society, JR? You see
this idea of serving people individually is odd to me. It's not what I grew up on, sitting at a rectangular table with my parents on each end and the kids in the middle, and the food was in the middle of the table, and we set the table with the plates, and that's how
she went all around it.
Okay.
She went all around.
So I'm saying, if I had that many children, that's how we. Right. Why would I serve anyone when they can serve themselves?
Kim, I'm asking another question. Okay, let's just say that the 7-year-old son and the 12-year-old daughter are fighting for the seat. Who's going to get that seat? There's no right or wrong.
This is painful.
Just asking the question.
It's like nails on a chalkboard. Painful.
I'm gonna come back to you, Chicago Rilla. That 7-year-old son, and that 12-year-old daughter are fighting over the seat. Who gets that seat?
Fighting over a seat?
Yeah, the seat. You know how siblings are. You know, fighting over the seat. It's time.
Siblings are like
they
that.
Come downstairs. Time to eat dinner. Huh?
Down. Sit down. Sit down.
I know, but who gets the seat?
Down. I mean, you know, listen,
who gets the seat?
The boy is gonna get the seat.
Why?
The boy is gonna get the seat because, listen, the boy is going to be. He's being raised. He's being groomed. This is young Simba. You're grooming him to become Mufasa. You're grooming him to be ready to go out and conquer the world, right? So he needs to have. Don't do that, JR. He needs to have a basic understanding, and he needs to have an example. JR, stop, man. He needs to have an example. It needs to be instilled in him early on what his place is in this world and what it looks like. That's why he's going to get that seat. But listen, because we don't do it like that. I wanted to ask Kim something. In your real life scenario where the parents
you don't do it like that. Who don't do it like that?
I'm talking about the family setting, what she was talking about. With the family setup, what she was talking about. In that setting, you have both parents at the ends, and then the kids in the middle, and then it was buffet setting. Who, even in that scenario, who got to dig in first? Like, everybody went at the same time?
I mean, there was no rule to that. There was no like. I think usually like the kids got their food first. I don't remember any particular rule for that.
Okay. Honestly. The reason why I asked this is because we're talking about the truth hurts. And so what I've been seeing a lot lately is that women are not raising our young men to be kings for whatever reason, whether it be background, whether it be what it used to be. And I just want to bring some notice to that. I too myself wasn't paying attention to it. But what I've been doing recently, like for at least like the past year or so, is making sure that my young son eats, that he has a priority. And I want to instill in him that he's the man. He needs to be the leader. He needs to be taken care of. Now, I'm not going to have him do anything crazy or like malicious to his sister, but I think that women, especially women that's in a single parent household, they don't know how to raise our young men properly. And that's the reason why I wanted to bring it up. We got to have those tough conversations. Our women and even men have to understand the importance of making sure that young man is raised to be a king. Yeah. And so that's the point. It wasn't like a right or wrong. And I'm not going to bash because some people honestly don't know. And I didn't take it as though, and to me, it sounded like you really, didn't know. It was really just, what? What you think she knew?
Come on, you got Kay, who is incredibly intelligent. She knows exactly what she's doing in every conversation. She is not to be slighted in anything. Kay, and I don't know Kim, but I'd like to think that she's pretty intelligent based off of her answers so far in this conversation. And I think this is the Kim from the Facebook group. Am I wrong or am I right?
You're right.
Okay, so we understand what it is. Are you a feminist, Kim?
You know what? I don't follow the label.
Oh, not Jesus Christ. Okay, JR, we know what we're dealing with here going forward. I just wanted to set that standard.
That men and women should be paid the same for the same work? Yes. Do I believe that men and women are the same? No. So
I got it. It's hoodie season. It's hoodie season. It's not quite summer yet. It's hoodie season, JR. Let's get it, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'll
Courtney,
say this.
Yeah, Courtney, I'm going to go ahead and get your thoughts. I kind of have an idea what your answer is based on it, but I just want to highlight the point. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, if we're talking about buffet, the man of the house, he gets the biggest piece of meat, whatever he wants, the man gets that first. But what I was saying, as far as in my family, for a moment in time, I was raised with a single mother and I had brothers, and I was taught that my brothers ate first and I had to serve my brothers. So it was me and my mom cooking and I had to give them their plates first. And so my brothers was always eating first before me, like a man. And my mom taught me how to serve, cook, and put their plates down first and let them eat and enjoy. So it might be a Southern thing too.
Did you, Courtney, when that happened, did you feel any less, did you feel subservient? Did you feel like dominated? Did you feel
no? I didn't know any better. That's how I was raised.
Oh,
so, being raised, and that has continued on. So if I go for Thanksgiving, my stepdad, he cuts it and he gets his own, and then, we follow suit. So that's just how I was raised.
Okay. Well, since we're still talking about the truth right now, I just want to speak on these women that are giving opinions in their upper 30s. Some have no kids. Some do have kids. They're single and they're not married. I'm going to say it again. They're single and they're not married, but they're giving opinions about everybody else. Just doesn't add up to me. Let's speak on it. Briefly speak on this. Start with you, Chicago Real. I seen you.
Yeah, I like this new JR. I like this new JR that's talking more. It's giving me life.
I think in the society that we in, man, everybody feel like they got an opinion on something. Everybody is speaking on something, and then the other part of it is you get people in the echo chamber, and you get people validating and pom-pom and cheerleading, and then you got a whole chorus of people saying the same thing. And I'm not judging one way or the other, right, wrong, and indifferent, but it's just not good, man. It's not good. Like, the one thing I do love about this platform and the conversations that we have is that there are diverse opinions from diverse backgrounds, and we ain't got to agree on everything. We could disagree, but you got to be able to have that conversation.
Right. Okay, real briefly, let's talk about these single women that are giving opinions. And it's okay to give opinions. I'm not going to say that, you're not entitled to it, but the part that I focus on is like what makes sense. Okay. So if you've been living a certain way all your life and you've been in like 5 different relationships the past year and a half, it has to be something that you're doing. So you're continuing giving your opinion, which you are entitled to, but it's not working. The relationships are not working. What do you have to say about this and these women?
So women in their upper 30s that have many failed relationships or whatever the case may be, yeah, they give a lot of advice. I think that sometimes in my position, because I'm not in my upper 30s and, you know, I haven't made a lot of those choices earlier in life, like, you know, having kids and all this stuff. Like, I've been very intentional. So I think sometimes women in their upper 30s, like in my personal experience, feel that they need to be telling me something, but it's more so a projection of the things that have happened in their lives that they wish they may have not done. So, I mean, it happens. People do it. I don't take it personally or feel any kind of way about it. It's just, you know, I let people do cathartic things and whatever it takes to make them feel better. But if someone's, not in a better position than I am, or they've made a bunch of mistakes that I never made, like, what am I listening to you about?
Kim, same question. What is going on with these women? You know, these are the same women that hate the Kevin Samuels, hate the Antons. They even hate Courtney. Speak on this.
They only hate me because they can't sleep with me.
Well, these women that you're speaking of,
only reason.
I'm trying to understand, how do we know that they've had 5 failed relationships in a year?
Well, I mean, we don't know that, but we know that they're single, that they're 35 and up, and that they're single. That's something that we do know because they openly admit it. They say, I'm single. And then you may ask them the question, okay, well, then, like, what are you bringing to your table? And they stumble. These are women that we're talking about.
So looking at this panel here, I mean, that represents the women on this panel, and we give the women on this panel give their opinion, you know.
Wait, you said we. So are you single?
Oh,
are you single?
Yeah, I'm single. So, but I'm not the only one.
It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so hilarious.
In fact, I don't think any of the women here are married. So, and I mean, we're still giving our opinions though. And I agree with Kay when she said that, you know, sometimes if the advice is, you know, the lesson learned, the mistakes that you made, that there can be some value in that. And then, you know, if someone is giving me advice, it's my choice to listen or not. You know, I can take it with a grain of salt. If I'm looking at them like, well, who is she? You know, she's had all these failed relationships and how is she going to give me advice? You know, then I just take it, like I said, take it with a grain of salt. So people are going to say what they're going to say no matter what. I think it's more on the responsibility of the person taking the advice to be smart enough to take it or not.
Right. Okay.
Anton, take that hat off. Take it off.
No. This is gonna be so fun. I'm enjoying myself.
All right, you guys. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. We're gonna move on to our second topic, but before we do, make sure we get these likes up. I believe these likes are down right now. Let me check into it real quick. We currently have about 1,400 people watching, and then we only got 497 likes. Let's get these likes up before we get the show started back again. How you guys doing? Y'all good? Let's kind of move a little bit. Let's breathe a little bit because it's only gonna get a little bit juicier from here on. Let's breathe together, y'all. Come on. We're gonna inhale, y'all. Let's inhale. Let's exhale.
What's wrong, Kay? Why you don't want me to wear my hat? You don't want me to smile. You don't want me to
what? I don't look. Don't smile. Don't wear your hat. Don't do anything. Just, you know.
What's happening, Kim?
And
How
it's
you
funny
doing
because
tonight?
I never know when your hat is even put on. Like I just look and there it is.
Hey, Chicago, just know that you don't have to choose a side. You know that, right? You know you could be neutral.
Neutral to what?
Hey, why Chicago be acting like he don't be knowing what's going on, bro?
I
Like,
definitely don't.
he be acting like, he'll be like, neutral to what? But then he'll jump in with 5 different versions of biblical text and do a whole breakdown. Yeah, like, come on, man.
You upset
We
because
know
I know
you're
the
a wise guy, bro.
Wait, does that disappoint you that I know the
Bible? No, I'm saying, see, now he moving the goalposts. The whole point is we know that you are intelligent enough to understand what the questions are. And I use the Bible just as a reference point of you being intelligent enough to be able to understand what's going on.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out why everyone has on black, and I'm the only one in white. Like everyone came from violence. Am I the peaceful one here?
I got on
black. We know why Chicago and K got on black. They coordinate.
Why do you have on black?
Hey, Anton, you ain't tired of that yet, bro?
No, why could I? I'm about to do a whole NFT of y'all together.
How many weeks, man? How many more weeks you got?
Why are you uncomfortable when I reference K? And
I'm
you in the
never
same
uncomfortable when you reference K.
You sure? I think that K is
you wildin', man.
I think that K is very nice looking. I like her lipstick. Look at her puffing her lips up. Look at her. She got nice teeth. You know what I'm saying? She got good cheekbones, nice facial structure. I think that she's really nice looking. What about you? Do you think that K is nice looking?
Stop.
Does it matter what I think about K and her looks?
Yeah, I want to know.
Nah,
let's just have the conversation.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Again, welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. Let's get these likes up. Moving on to our second topic, which is stroking a woman's ego. Stroking a woman's ego. This is all too familiar for us, I'm pretty sure. We've had several discussions about men in particular that strokes a woman's ego. The women are not going to be able to grow or understand. So as long as we have these men that wants to stroke their ego. This is a tough conversation, but I think it needs to be had because not every woman's ego needs to be stroked. Do you guys agree? Better yet, does anybody disagree?
No,
okay. I don't know what I agree or disagree with yet until.
All right, I'm gonna start with you, Chicago Gorilla. Stroking a woman's ego. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, when I saw this, I'll be honest. I don't concept. I don't even understand what like stroking a woman's ego is. Like, I understand complimenting. I understand, giving her exhortation. I don't understand stroking a woman's ego.
Okay, let me put it into context. So we have a lot of women that's out there that are exhibiting toxic behavior, for instance, or that have issues, masculine energy. What else? Can't keep their mouths closed. But we have the men that will come in and say, "Oh, it's okay. It's not them. It's you." So instead of addressing the issue at hand, they're stroking this woman's ego or these women's egos, and then they're still going out reproducing the same behavior. So that's what I meant by stroking the woman's ego.
Well, I think that I don't know that it's I don't know that it's the men stroking as much as it is when you talk about the sisterhood pack and having these conversations, sisters amongst themselves in the echo chamber, right?
It's the women too. It's the women too.
Right.
So,
and I think what we've been focused on late is that when people are having these conversations, there's a conversation between the black man and the black woman, right? So I'm assuming this is about black men and black women. And we're talking about how black women aren't listening to the black man, right? And so that it's on the women to start having these conversations with the women, right? So I don't concept with stroking a woman's ego. I understand. If you see something, say something. If you see something, say something. But I don't concept with stroking a woman's ego.
Okay.
But then at the same time, I don't think that I've ever seen or heard you ever hold a woman accountable either. So
You never.
So of course you wouldn't align with
Yeah,
that. Like it doesn't make sense.
Here's the thing. You never will. You never will see me in a public space check a woman, call her out, or whatever that is. You know, the generation of men that I knew or that I seen, you know, they let the women handle the women.
Nah, never.
Maybe,
and that's the whole reason why women are out of control today, is because women in most situations, that's the biggest problem that we have, is that women are not holding women accountable. And then you have men that don't step in and take control of a situation until they see another guy is saying something to a woman, which is something that you highlighted that you do regularly. You step in on behalf of women, but then at the same time, you don't hold them accountable. And this combination of behavior is the exact thing of what's wrong with the Black community and the community at large, because it's not just Black people. I talk to guys from all races, and to a large extent, this type of behavior has been enabled for so long, and dudes are unwilling to hold women accountable. Even the very women that they talk to, they unwilling to hold them accountable. And so as a result, you have women that's out of control, that think that they have an opinion, that think that their voice is as big as it is. It's really not. And that we should pay attention to what they saying as though that should mean something or hold more weight than the guys that actually built society in the first place and is keeping things up and running. So my whole point is that you can't have it both ways. If you're going to step in on one aspect, you got to be balanced on the other aspect, or you can't participate at all. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, but all you're doing is enabling more bad behavior when you don't align with this mindset that everybody needs to be held accountable, especially if you want to qualify them as equal and on our level. It has to be the same across the board. You can't pick and choose, or well, no, either it is or it ain't. It's Black or it's white. It's no in the middle. It's no gray area. You either step up or you step down. I don't understand that logic, bro.
Yeah, I hold on. I'm sorry, JR.
I was telling you to go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't understand yours either, and that's okay. I don't come from. I don't like. What are you talking about? Holding somebody?
Because we talking about stroking egos, and when you don't hold women accountable to a larger extent, not only are you perpetuating bad behavior, but you are stroking their ego because they know that when they come around dudes like you, they can get away with certain things that they wouldn't normally be able to get away with.
Hold on. Who is the they that can come around me and get away with what? Who are we talking about?
Now, this is exactly what I said in the beginning of the subject, and that he act like he don't pay attention. He act like he don't know what's going on.
Bro,
this is so amazing, bro. This is amazing.
I don't understand nothing you're saying. You're saying you hold strange women accountable.
I hold all women accountable. You see me do it every day.
That's what you do. Okay. That's what you do. How is that working out?
Kim.
It's phenomenal. You see how great my relationship is. My daughter is in line. My chick is in line. My chick came on my show. No. My chick came on my show and showed you how much I'm a king in my own household. My mom will do the same thing. Every woman in my presence align and fall in line, or they fall out. I hold them accountable because it's benefits to being around me.
Anton, tell me about the last woman you held accountable that you don't have a personal relationship with.
Okay, see, she just went offline right there.
You did not hold me accountable for anything.
Yeah. No bad behavior. Hey, I regularly hold women accountable on this show. I got a history of making sure that women don't get away with perpetuating a narrative that's going to continue to perpetuate more bad behavior. It can't happen in my presence. I don't play that game. And I hold dudes accountable too. I'm even on both sides.
Hey, Kim, I'm coming to you. Stroking a woman's ego. Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts? And then feel free to chime in on what Anton and Chicago Gorilla was saying. Like, do you think that men should hold all women accountable? I mean, not just going down the street, just hold women accountable, but if they're having a conversation or something like that, if they had that type of relationship, do you feel as though a man should hold a woman accountable?
There's nothing wrong with if someone is doing something wrong to call them out on it. I think women generally do that more.
So do they have to be doing something wrong, or can they just be putting wrong energy out there?
And see, that's where, you know, a lot of that is opinion. I've watched the show a few times, and honestly, when I've heard what Anton says when he calls people accountable, in my opinion, it's just he's just giving his opinion, and the other person is just giving their opinion. I don't really see Anton calling, making people accountable. I think it's just.
Then how come they go in the Facebook group and give whole soliloquies after they talk to me saying, I have to look in the mirror and check myself? And Anton, yeah, you know what's up. Listen,
I haven't
don't
seen
play
that at
games.
all. So
You've seen it. You all in the
seen
Facebook group. You've seen
yes,
it.
and I have not seen that.
You see my name come up all the time. Let's be clear.
I don't ever see your name come up, honestly. I never see the group.
JR, what are you doing?
Never
You see, hey, you see, God is dealing with us right now. Just cut JR's life off because
honestly, Anton, I remember seeing you in the group way more, like maybe about a year ago. I remember you used to be in the group a lot. I would say in the last year, I have hardly ever seen you in the group. Honestly, like I'm not saying that you're not.
This is the cappest thing that I've ever heard in my entire life.
I mean, I don't know. You're not on my phone with me when I'm on Facebook, so you wouldn't know.
I didn't say that I'm doing anything in the group. You see my name come up in the group. Don't cap. Talk. Come on.
Oh,
Anton,
as far as people talking
Anton,
about
I think the most
people
Anton, I think that the most people
yes.
who mention about you, the most people who mention you are men.
And she pay attention because she be in the conversation going back and forth. Come on.
I thought you meant you in the group as far as like you speaking in the group.
Oh, now you didn't know. Okay, I got it. I see where this is going. Come on. We're not gonna do this.
Do I hear your name mentioned occasionally? But
occasionally.
Occasionally, okay. I hear your name mentioned.
I got you. I mean, this is the cappest thing that I've ever heard.
All right, Kim, go ahead and finish your thought, Kim. Go ahead and finish your thoughts about women's ears getting stroked.
Yeah, I was saying that I know from, and I can only speak from my experience, as far as me holding women accountable, and it's within friends. We do that in private. We will stand up for each other in public, no matter what. You know, even if they are wrong, like we will have their back no matter what. If that's our girl, we got their back. But then after the fact, we'll let them know, like, you know, you weren't wrong you weren't right with what you did. You were wrong. You know, you should have done this differently. Next time, do it this way. We do have those conversations. We have those conversations quite often. If we feel like one of our friends is behaving in a way that was not right, we let them know about it and, you know, and try to help them improve. But yeah, we probably don't do that a whole lot in person though.
Okay, I want to ask you something. So do you feel as though if somebody does something wrong, do you think that the wrong should be highlighted in the public just as much as like what they trying to figure out how to work this? You understand what I'm trying to say? So we had an incident where everybody else was pointed out to be wrong, and then like they defended this person, but then they said, oh, well, we had conversations behind a closed door about that person, but they didn't have any problem, you know, highlighting the other people's issues, but they didn't want to do that in public. Am I making sense? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Okay. So like, do you feel as though like women need, I'm gonna just get straight to the point. I'm gonna go straight to the point. Okay. So we had somebody on the panel, right? Do you feel as though that they did anything wrong? Kim.
You're talking about a specific person
I'm just talking. Yeah, we're not saying any names. I'm just saying we had somebody on the panel. Do you feel as though anything was done wrong?
See, I don't like talking about someone that's not here to defend themselves. Honestly,
no, I'm just asking you if you feel like anything was done wrong in your eyes. I mean, we spoke on things that happened amongst everybody else. Like I've seen comments within the Facebook group that the people wasn't there to say their piece, but it still was said. So I don't see what's different now.
No,
I'm just asking in your opinion. This is important.
This is not
because,
JR. This is not something that happened amongst men. They kill us all the time. They say different things about us all the time. They have conversations about us all the time, and nobody comes to our defense or anything and ever says, "Yo, I'm not going to talk about them because they're not here to defend themselves or anything like that." We hold each other accountable. I subjected myself to the whole idea of when Rilla checked me live on here, and I was like, you know what, you're right, bro, because we are focused on doing the right thing and elevating and we okay with different dudes calling out behaviors when it comes to it. But for whatever reason, when it comes to women, no matter what example that we're using, we got to use kid gloves. We got to use kid gloves the whole time, bro. That's a fact. It's just the truth.
Like the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because, again, this is one of the tough conversations, and it's not that I care, but I do care at the same time, because like, how long are we going to keep allowing for this to keep repeating itself? Like, this hit home, like for me, because it's another story when you just say, okay, like this person was wrong, that person was wrong, this person was right. If we're going to put everything on the table, let's put everything on the table. Let's look at it from all angles, not just one lens. Let's look at it from all angles and put everything on the table. Because, you know, there's like it's kind of like a domino effect. Like, you can't start something and then think, and then two, you got to find out facts. A lot of people so quick to respond without even understanding the whole story of a lot of situations. I mean, people in general, people nosy, people want to comment, people just love the drama, but they don't want to fully understand the whole story. So then you have people that's giving their opinions about things that they don't know. And then they're highlighting other people, making other people look bad, saying, oh, I can't believe this was going on. Do you know the entire story? And did you hold that person accountable on both sides? Yeah, they may have done some things right, but did they do anything wrong? Or could they have done something better? Let's not even say wrong. Could they have done something better? Could they have made a better decision? That's how we're going to grow in this world. It's by holding people accountable, not just when they do good things or when they responded in a certain way. Let's start from the beginning and let's, dig deeper into it to figure out why it got to where it did. That's all I'm saying.
I have a question for Kim, because I want to make sure I understand what you said before. So let's just say you had a good friend of yours that was doing something wild on Facebook, and you would rally her because that's your girl, and you would say, oh yeah, girl, I agree with you. But then behind closed doors, you would say, I don't know if you should have did that. So is that what you're saying? And that's what you do? If you see a friend that's doing something wrong via the internet, you wouldn't call it out via the internet on the spot. You would call her after the fact and say, maybe you shouldn't have did that. Is that what you're saying that you do?
No, if it was on Facebook, I could call her immediately and let her know.
Would you check it on Facebook? Would you comment or just say, hey, this ain't right, you should probably take this down?
I would just call her and tell her that. Yeah. I would probably do that immediately. Tell her, like, yeah, this isn't cool. You got to take this down if I didn't agree with it.
Okay. Well, this is one of them tough conversations. I mean, it's still lingering around, or at least some of the energy is. So I just want to and it kind of just plays into what we're saying about stroking the woman's ego, is that, and I'm going to get to the men. I'm going to have a whole segment about the men. So don't think that we just sitting here talking about women. Men need to be held accountable for a lot of things, and we got to do some change. So I think within the next couple of weeks, the show is going to be particularly about men. But as we're talking right now about stroking the woman's ego, a lot of women egos are getting stroked. They're not telling. They got a lot of yes women around them. They're just agreeing with them. But you got to hold them accountable, because it's going to make them better. It's going to make them worse if you don't speak on it. And if you are speaking on it, don't go ahead.
You do know that the only time that women get mad at other women is when women agree with men, right? You don't see women agree or disagree with other women largely, or hold each other accountable, or even combat or get into any kind of verbal or text fight with anybody on any forum or any platform until a woman aligns with a man. That's the only time you're going to see women at large go at it with each other. That's it.
Yes,
Otherwise,
man,
they
that's
enable
not
each other's
true.
behavior. Come on, Kay. We gonna be real, or
Very
we
No,
very
we're
true.
gonna be real because listen, Anton, you know that how some women feel about you, right? You already know.
Well, I know
I
that
was
secretly they want to sleep with me, so that's a different conversation. But go ahead. So I don't trip about it.
So
No
I was
cap.
on your show.
Ain't no cap on that.
I was on your show, and me and you aligned a lot. Like we
Yeah, but
agreed on
I'm
a
not
lot
talking
of
about
things.
us. I'm not talking about guys and girls. Like we agree, we disagree, so on and so forth, right?
But
We
you
not
just
beefing,
said
but
that
I said women. The only time that women get mad at other women is when they
I
agree with
understood what
men.
you said. I understood what you said. I'm saying that you and I agreed on multiple things and no one said
That's true.
anything to me about it. No woman came to me like, how could you agree with him? Blah, blah, blah. Like that didn't happen at all.
Well, I told you
So I
why
don't
as it
think,
relates to me.
Anton, get out of here.
Okay.
No.
Well,
That's not why.
it's a particular reason why. So
Okay, we know, we see people all the time as
Mhm.
new as you are to the platform and everything, that no matter what I say or no matter what woman agrees with me, they gonna go at them if this woman agree. And then that's when they start getting mad at
I
me for
was
calling them
agreeing with you
offensive line.
though.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about we see it in different forms on different platforms all the time
So my
of
exempt
women
from
getting mad at other
this
women.
thing.
well, here's the reason
Come on,
why.
Jay.
It's not
Come on.
necessarily agreeing with the man.
Anton, am I exempt from this thing?
Well, I mean, you largely love me, so
Like-
it's a different dynamic.
Like,
It
how
don't
come
really
it didn't
count.
happen to me? I'm just trying to find out.
Well,
I
because
can-
they seen what they seen you. They seen. I'm gonna tell you why. Because they seen you nuking Courtney prior to this in the group, so they was
Well,
like, "We
here-
don't want that smoke,"
he-
and so they walked away.
And here's the reason why. You can align and agree with the man, but then you can still be in the sister code. The sister code means that, you know, I can agree with him. However, I'm still loyal to women. I'm going to make sure that they know that I'm not going to go too far off in to make sure they know I'm still with you. But once you become a woman independent and say, yes, we need to hold each other accountable. These are the mistakes that we've made. These are the things that we need to correct. Once you set that out and are very confident in it, that's when you break sister code. So that's the reason why you haven't, because you haven't been independently stood up on your Chicago, 10 toes down and say, this is what it is. And that's it. You have to have a stance. If you don't have a stance and you waver, then you can go over here and hang out and I'm cool with Anton and you can still do the sister girl code. We are perfect. Nothing's wrong with us. That's wavering. But once you have a stance, then that's when sides come in and people pick a side.
Hey, before you respond,
Right, I mean-
this is hold on. Before you respond, this is transitioning right into the next topic. Before you guys, welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. Let's get these likes up. We're moving on to our third topic, which is label her pick me and shame her for speaking the truth. Label her pick me and shame her for speaking the truth. So, Courtney, you were just talking. Are you referring to yourself when you say these things, as far as that you're the independent thinker, you know, that you've separated yourself from the pack, and because of that, you're targeted?
Well, I was speaking about myself. Absolutely.
Okay.
Do I get attacked by the sister code and in the group? I do. And do I get called a pick me? I do. And I think it's just amazing because it's women. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I'm agreeing with all women. No, if we're doing something wrong or if a man is logical and I agree with him, then I'm going to agree. I'm not going to agree to be wrong just to be in the sister girl group and have them not attack me or call me names. Like, that's silly. Nor would
Courtney.
I ever do that. Yes,
Courtney.
JR.
I want you to give a little bit more support as to, you don't have to go too deep, but
Okay.
just give a little bit more support as to why you changed. Because again, I'm just having conversations. So when I brought up about the panel, I just really want to have a conversation about it. it's a tough conversation, but I feel like we just saying statements, but we're not giving a lot of support as to why we saying these things. And so they just look like they're attacks. Let's dive deeper than that. So I want you to give a little bit more support as to like, were you always like this? Was it a time in your life where it changed?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I've spoken about this a few times on the show, where I did change. I was combative, wasn't really good as far as keeping relationships where it was me that was leaving. It was me, like I said, before, quote unquote, homewrecker. And, I just got tired of doing the same exact thing, but expecting different results. Of course, that's the definition of insanity. And I was being insane out here thinking that if I still, rock like the modern woman and feel like I am not only equal to a man, but better than, me putting my career and money first and me wanting to travel instead of me focusing on family. Me doing that completely and over again, but still thinking that I'm going to get married and be with a good man and have this, house with the white picket fence. That was completely wrong of me. And then I had to figure out on myself, like, why am I keep putting myself in these situations? Why am I not, happy? And then I figured that was me. And I never held myself accountable. I never looked at myself. I always looked at men like men were wrong. There ain't no good men. Y'all all dogs. All you want is to take advantage of me. And I continued that from like high school and in my 20s. And then when I hit my 30s, I was like, okay, something got to change. And it can't be every single person that man that I'm with, it's doing that to me. It's me. And then I know I said before where it was like, having a conversation with my mother, and my mother was like, you need to deal with some stuff. There's a reason why you think all men are no good. It's because your dad left you when you were 2. So yeah, it was because I had trauma, meaning, things happened to me as a kid that I wasn't over. So because of that, I thought men would just leave me. I thought men were supposed to hurt me. So then I got help. And then I went to therapy. I learned not only to forgive the men that hurt me, but I had to forgive myself. And that
when did you
hard.
get the help?
I say right
How old
maybe
are you?
about 4 or 5 years ago. I'm in my 30s. And about 4 or 5 years ago is when I was in therapy. I was in therapy for almost about 2 years. And through that was work, exercising things out, writing letters to people that I wasn't even intended on giving, but being able to have a safe space to write my complete feelings. Like I said, I made phone calls to people. It was like, I'm sorry for being a B because you didn't deserve that. And it was because of me. And I was dealing with pain from my past that I couldn't get over. So as of today,
go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, okay. So as of today, I'm still a work in progress. But the thing that I really, really stress and preach is doing the work and putting in the work. And I can't tell you how much I feel so much free. I don't feel like the pain. I don't hate myself. And it's powerful. Forgiveness is powerful. And so, yeah. So then when I take the stance, and it's because I'm so passionate about it, and I think people, oh, you just want to align with men. And it's not even about that. It's about, I know that I was a woman and I was out of control. And I see the same things that I was doing. I see it exhibited all the time, on Facebook and stuff I used to say and be combative and cussing and all that. Like I see it exhibited and I'm just like, hey, God used me as a vessel to help and say, hey, don't do this. You wasting time. You deserve this, that. You deserve to be happy. And if you're not, then just look at yourself. Can't nobody make you happy but you.
Before you guys respond, I just want you to understand that like this may not be you. Like this may not be like how your life is, but just think about a lot of women that may be in that situation now or have been in that situation, like before you respond. So she may not be speaking to you, but just having an open mind to be able to understand how many women need help, how many women have trauma. I don't think that we should put people under labels just because they agree with men. I think and I said it before, like a couple shows back, that people have stories behind who they are. You know, sometimes people don't even realize what they're doing out here. Sometimes they don't realize the trauma. And then it becomes like men against women, women against men. So before you guys respond, just kind of keep that in mind. But I do want to hear your thoughts. Now that you heard Courtney say that, tell her, put a little story behind it. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Go ahead, Kay.
I'm glad that you are on this journey and you're doing better and, learning from things that have happened. And that, I know how that might sound, but I really am glad. I think that that's something that people need to do. Sometimes I just wonder though, like, you talk a lot about accountability for women, and sometimes it seems like a projection of mistakes you've made. So you want to tell other women, do this, do that. Like with me, for example, like I have not made the mistakes you've made. I've not lived the life you've lived. I've avoided some of those things that you've spoken of in terms of your life. And I'm not judging you for anything you've done or gone through or whatever, because that's life. Life happens. And I'm glad that you're, persevering and moving forward. But like, to sit up and be like, I just want to see women change their behavior. Like, you still have work to do. Like, you still have things to do with your own life. And I feel like sometimes, and not just you, in general, people do this thing where they're like, I want to hold other people accountable. But it's like, are you in the position to hold somebody accountable for things? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, and that's definitely fine. So again, I told you a little bit about, but nothing necessarily specific. So you don't necessarily know what we might and might not have in common. So I'm pretty sure, Kay, I know that you're in your 30s as well. And, correct me if I'm wrong, but have you not been through something that you had to get over? Has your life been all peaches and cream?
No.
Okay. So as someone in their 30s, that's, I'm not sure the experiences that you've had, but let's just say you've gone through something. And then you see someone younger than you exhibiting the exact same behavior that you did. However, the outcome of it. Do you not think that you have a responsibility to say, hey, this ain't what you want to do. Trust me. This is the reason why.
Who do you see exhibiting the exact behavior you do?
Well, hold on. If you can answer my question first. Do you think you have an obligation as a woman in their 30s, seeing someone in their 20s doing something that is not going to be a good outcome? Do you think that you have that responsibility to say, hey, young sis, this ain't what you want to do?
Of course, especially if I have a relationship with them, for sure.
Well, let's say you don't. Let's just say you see someone on the Facebook group twerking and you know that they have a good job and the kids, and you wouldn't say, hey, maybe this isn't appropriate for you to do on the internet.
I get it. I'm not sure where you're going with it.
It's a question. It's not I'm going anywhere. I'm just asking a question.
Would I tell someone that I saw twerking on Facebook, hey sis, don't twerk?
Well, in the Facebook group. So it's not really a joking matter. So let's just say in a Facebook group, and you're active in it. So I know you know people in there. So let's just say you saw Kim do something, twerking. Not saying you do, Kim, but let's just say you saw her. Would you not say, hey, I know you have a family. This is not maybe a good look.
Yeah, of course. If I saw a friend of mine doing something, I would absolutely talk to them about it, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So with me, I'm not, nor have I ever say, hey, you effing it up, girl. Like I've never did that. What I'm trying to do is come out of love, patient, not boisterous, not envious. I try to come out of love and say, I don't know how many times I have to say it, that I've gone through things and I know a lot better. That's wisdom. To be a wise woman means that you're listening to your elders and them able to let you know before you do it. Only someone that's dumb would just want to go through the motions and and do something, knowing that it's going to, be something bad and not look good upon them. It's wisdom to be able to take heed of words and of actions and to listen to someone that's been through it. That's wise. And I think it's very, very important that if you have something or you know better, then you need to speak up. It's a hard thing to do because then you get ridiculed and criticized, and that's fine. But if we don't speak up, like we were saying before, stroking the egos. Yeah, it's super cool to stroke someone and yeah, you're doing good. But if they're not, it's powerful. That strength to let somebody know you're not, you need to stop. And I'm sorry, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay,
I think if more women stood up and became women and strong and tell these young girls, don't do this, quit twerking, put on some clothes, quit showing your stuff. If we had women saying that, my God, we would be powerful. My God, we can get the essence of a strong Black woman back than just all Cardi B's and Megan Thee Stallions. Where's the Claire Huxtables? Where's the Diane Carrolls? Where are we don't have that. It's because people aren't speaking up and telling, no, that's bad behavior, it's wrong. Let's be classy and not trashy.
Okay, before you respond, I want to get Kim on this. And Kim, I want your honest opinion. Same question that I asked Kay. Now that you heard a little bit more background behind Courtney's story as to why she feels the way she feels, and she's acts the way she acts when it comes to her stance. How do you feel about it? Like, do you understand? Like, does it make any sense? Do you have a change of heart as far as how you feel about it?
Yeah, it makes sense. I agree with a lot of what she was saying as far as if you see, someone doing something wrong and you call it out and, what she was speaking to. I agree with it. This term pick me, though, I honestly never even heard the term until I was in the group. And I gathered it a little bit. My opinion of what it meant was a little bit more than what she talked about. I guess my opinion of it was more of like someone that puts women down, is always agreeing with men. And honestly, from watching the show, since we're talking about Courtney, it seems like she would always agree with Anton, always. It didn't matter what he said. And it would seem like she would always disagree with Kay. And it wouldn't matter what Kay said. She could have said the sky is blue and Courtney would have been, no, I don't think so. That's just my perspective from what I've seen watching the show, that it's more than, and I get, Courtney, what you were saying, and I feel that, and I agree with that. But I think we're this opinion of when people are calling other women pick-me's, I think it's more than just that.
Well, let me ask you a question, Kim, because I get that a lot. You're always agreeing with Anton. And then I push back and I say, well, what is it that you disagree with me with? And not a one person can say, well, I mean, I do agree with a lot of what you say, but I just think you agree with him so much. So what? If it's right, it's right. So you can say that you always agreeing with him. Please tell me one thing that you disagree with me about. Name me one.
That I disagree with you about?
Yes.
Well, a couple of shows ago, there was something that I disagreed with you about. We
Which
can go
one?
with that if you'd like.
What was it?
When you brought me up on the show.
Okay. Well, we can talk about you, but I'm saying
That's something that I disagree with.
So what?
You lied about me on the show 2 shows ago. So that's
what did I say? What was the lie, Kim?
Okay, I'll tell you exactly because I have the quote.
Mm-hmm.
You said, I'm about coupling Black folks with Black folks. I'm a champion of Black love. And this little white lady telling me what I should say to Black women and Black men. Let me pause there for a second because I never said anything to you about Black women or Black men or how to talk to Black women or Black men. I said none of that at all.
Hey, you see her neck starting to twist now. She's showing up. Yeah, be the real you. We see it coming out. We know it's gonna come out eventually. Come on, let's talk about it. I want to hear that.
That's okay. That's all right, Anton.
Okay.
So you went on to say
Let's
we got to
just
stay
have
in our
the
lane,
conversation.
folks. Come on, little white lady. I understand you have to observe, but I'm about coupling Black folks with Black folks. White lady, if you want a Black man, that's fine. There's swirler things you can get into. I get it. The conversation that we had.
Well, hold on, Kim. Hold on. Kim, did I mention? Hold on, Kim.
Hold on, Courtney. Hold on.
Lied on that
Hold on,
show.
Courtney. Let her finish real quick, and then I'm coming to you.
You straight out lied. So your question was, do I agree? Tell you something that I disagree with? That's one thing that I disagree with, because you absolutely lied. It had nothing to do with Black men. The whole post that it was on had nothing to do with Black men and Black women. And no, I am not someone that is just going to observe. I was invited to the group. I was invited on the show. And so no, just because I'm white, you think I'm just going to observe? No, that's if I asked to be here or I asked to be in the group, maybe. If the group was called Lapeef, Black People, Let's Talk, sure. Then yeah, I would just observe, but it's not called that. And again, all of what you said had nothing to do, and then there was no reason to bring me up anyway.
Okay. Kim, did I mention your name?
Does it matter?
It does.
No, it does not.
Did I mention your name?
Because you know what? If I said the girl that is the pick me on Lapeef show, everyone would know who I was talking about.
Hold on, Kim. Hold on.
So no,
you gotta
let Courtney talk now.
All right. Did I mention your name, Kim?
No, you did not.
Okay. So
why
you
does
said
it matter?
Because it does. Because you are saying right now, you're specifically talking about me and all that. I'm
You
like,
asked me when are you dishonest? Or no, you asked me when do I disagree? And I was telling you when I disagree.
Right. And that's fine. But again, the question was, did I say your name? And you said
the question was, when did you disagree?
Okay,
when
we already
disagree. And
you gotta listen to me, okay?
No, I don't have
one at a time, y'all. One at a time. Well,
this is not going to be a good conversation if you don't want to listen.
But don't tell me what I have to do.
Let's just
so
have
listen
the
to what I said. Okay, so what I asked you was, did I say your name? You
I already answered
no. Right. So therefore, you doing all this is just sad.
It's sad because you lied.
I didn't lie. So Kim, let me tell.
You absolutely lied.
I didn't lie, Kim. You are in the group. You talk a lot about Black women. Matter of fact, there was a post, and
so first of all, we're not talking about anything else except what you said on the show that was a lie.
Kim, I can.
With that. Stick with the topic, right?
So this is
you lied. So tell me how you didn't
lie. I did.
Tell me how you didn't lie.
Okay, you're gonna have to let me speak. So that means you gotta chill out for a second and let me speak, okay?
All right, because I've never said anything to you other than that one time. But go ahead.
You got it. Are you done?
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So in the group, and what you've said to me about me specifically, because there's been a lot of posts about me, and I read the comments, and you go into the comments a lot, and you go back and forth. You are part of the Powerpuff Girls, so I get it. I mean, you are. So have you made references about Black couples and relationships? You have.
All your fault.
Have you said specifically where there was a post that you did? We're not going to have the conversation if you keep interrupting me. That's just respect. So you can disagree with me.
Come on, y'all. Let's just have a conversation.
You got to be respectful here, Kim. Okay.
Let's just have a conversation. One at a time.
In the group, you said specifically, it's easy not to like her. But of course, people are saying because of how she looks. But what if she looked like, who'd you say that was a Black? He was naming Black Whoopi Goldberg, saying she looked like Whoopi, as if Whoopi is ugly. Then you said Grace Jones, if she looked like Grace Jones, as if she was ugly. So I thought it was very interesting that the women that you pinned that were unattractive, you pinned Black women. And then there was a Black man on there that said, hey, well, why don't you say something about Brett Midler? Oh, well, yeah. So it was very particular where you do talk about Black women in the group. You do talk about me as a Black woman that pro-Black love. You do. And you do that consistently. Do I say you should observe as far as when black folks are wanting to marry black people, and then you want to chime in. I did say that. I'm not backing down, and I totally agree. So I think when black relationships, when we're talking about black
Kim,
relationships,
coming to you next.
I'm not going to listen, nor do I think white folks need to be into black relationships, and I don't. So if you disagree with that, I respect that opinion, but that's mine, and I'm not changing it.
All right, go ahead, Kim.
Okay, so again, what you said was that I was telling you how to talk to black women and black men. We had one interaction on the Facebook group that had nothing to do with me telling you about black women or black men.
It's not a lie. We had one interaction.
Let me ask you
however,
this.
Hold on, Courtney.
The interaction that we had,
let her talk.
The conversation that we had on Facebook, did it have anything, just me and you, not any of this other extra stuff you're talking about? The conversation that you and I had, did that have anything to do with me telling you how to talk to black men and black women?
Now, what I remember, because again, this was a while ago.
Yes or no?
I'm going to answer. You got to be respectful.
Do you not?
I don't entertain disrespect.
No. Hold on.
I don't entertain disrespect.
Time out. Okay, telling me I got to be respectful.
Yes.
Okay. How many times on this show, when you've asked a person a question, have you followed up with, it's just a yes or no? Yes or no? How many times have you said that? Because I've watched the show.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
So
thanks, buddy.
That I'm being disrespectful when I've seen you do exactly the same thing. I asked you a question, yes or no? Did you,
Kim? You're not me.
The conversation that
you can't. It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are not. Don't call me disrespectful for something that you've done the exact same thing for. That's very hypocritical. So don't be a hypocrite.
You're being disrespectful right now. So we're either going to have the conversation or not.
Just answer the question.
I was.
Yes or no? Was the conversation me telling you about how to talk to black men and women? Yes or no?
Yes.
How? I was telling you about a word that you said incorrectly. That's what the post was about. That's it. I didn't tell you nothing about black men, black women were mentioned at all.
Okay. Well, you asked me to say yes, and I said yes. So,
how? I said how.
Okay. So let me finish, but I need you not to disrupt me, or I'm just gonna.
Okay, well, please keep it the conversation we had.
Well, I don't have to. You comment on me a lot, so it doesn't even have to say it's just between me and you. I see your comments about me. You do it a lot. You and your buddies. Okay, y'all round up your little girl code, and you heard me. You guys round up and you go in attack mode. And you do. You've mentioned me. You talked about me numerous of times. And especially on the one where you had the audacity to name people that you thought wasn't attractive, and they were black women. Do I take offense to that as a white woman call another black woman unattractive? I sure do. And if you don't like what I'm saying, honestly, at this point, I don't care. I take offense to that.
I don't care.
And you did.
And that's not even.
Okay, so did you not specify some unattractive women, and you said that they were black women?
No, you're completely missing the point. The point of what I was saying was it wouldn't matter. People know the post. I remember the post. The post was the reason why women don't like Courtney is because she's beautiful. My point was it wouldn't matter who was up there.
And you started naming unattractive women, and they were all black. You didn't say anybody white.
So what? I was trying to.
No, I take offense to that. I take offense when a white woman want to interject herself into black relationships, into black life.
What does this have to do with black relationships? The post was about you,
about me again.
Because you're pretty. And I said it wouldn't matter who was up there. I'm sorry, Con, but that has nothing to do with black, white, nothing. Okay.
But what it does have to do is that you are admitting that you still talk about me in the group. And that's what you do. You always do.
Was about
you. Always talk about me.
I wasn't talking about you. The post was about you. And I said it wouldn't matter who was there. I wasn't talking about you.
We can talk. Hold on. Go ahead, Kim. That particular post it was, and you said that. And did I take offense? I did. And I posted, and somebody else did. Was like, let's not talk about black women as a white woman and say who is ugly or not. And in our Black community. I thought that was disrespectful.
It wasn't
and I
about,
thought
it wasn't about
uncalled for.
ugly people in the community. It was the point
right.
was just that it wouldn't matter who was sitting there. If they were spitting the same stupid crap that you spit on this show, if they were agreeing with every damn thing that Anton says all the time, no matter what. In fact, when JR came to you first once before Anton, you didn't know what to say. But then when Anton said what he had to say, oh, you were right there saying the same thing.
That's my work husband. So I represent my work
the sky
husband.
is blue, and you'll say no, it's orange. Like, come on.
Hey, Court, I love you, baby. I love you,
Thank
baby.
you,
No
boo.
matter
And it
what.
would not matter.
Well, I'm
It would
always
not
going
matter
to
how
support
you
my
look.
work husband.
That was the point of what I said. It would not matter how you looked. It's what you say, and that's the reason why women don't like you. That's it. That's all I was saying. It wasn't really even.
But okay, so let me ask a question because this is crazy.
Well, I'm glad that now you're being honest and I love it. Thank you, Kim, for showing me.
I got a question. So I got a question. Aside from the thing that you guys went back and forth as it relates to the whole race thing, what else? Because that's like a personal thing, right? But as far as just pure opinion, what do you disagree with that she says, or do you just dislike the fact that she agrees with me?
I would have to look back at some previous.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Stop, Kay. I got a follow-up question because the thing that I've just observed is that she had all of these specific details, which means that she just went through and said, yo, you say all of this stuff. And as a matter of fact, I watched you one time wait until JR asked the question, and she knows all the details. But then when you ask her a specific question as to what she disagrees with, then she has to go back and figure it out. That does not make sense.
I don't remember the specifics.
Kay, come on, Kay.
Right,
you know,
with
Kay.
the madness.
Let's
Kim,
be real.
You quote
Hold on,
me.
Kay.
You see every show that I'm on. Like you quoted me, Kim. You wrote
Courtney,
it
hold
down.
on.
But I haven't seen every.
Courtney and Kim. Hey, Courtney and Kim, hold on
weird.
real quick.
Courtney, why do you think Courtney, why do you think people are so concerned with you? Are you okay?
I don't, Kay. But you were. And we've already talked about that the first time that you was on here.
Girl,
and now we're looking at Kim.
Oh, really?
And now with Kim,
literally,
let's just be honest. Let's be honest, Kay. Okay.
Honest. That was a month ago, and I haven't talked to you.
Let's hold on. Well, and I'm not gonna talk to you. So with Kim,
then in the last
Kim,
you said,
okay, hold on.
One at a time, ladies. One at a time.
Kim is specifically.
Let's just have a conversation. Let's just have a conversation.
Okay.
You just talked for.
Let's just have a conversation.
Again, Kim specifically is quoting me.
I see you laughing, really.
All I'm saying is that you have this thing where you think that people are thinking about you so much.
I don't, Kay. I don't, Kay.
You're still talking about something that happened Easter. That was like a month ago.
Yes, but if let's say the whole story. Let's say the whole story.
Courtney, have I said anything to you?
Okay, I'm not talking about you right now. What we're talking about is Kim. And Kim specifically has quoted me. She's looked at the shows. She said, I remember this show and on this show, but you said on this show. She's even said on a post, yeah, I was talking to you about the post because it said you're cute. Yeah, I was talking about the post. These are specific things. Like, stop it. Stop. You have a lady next to you right now that is quoting me as if I'm writing a book. You have a lady here that has said, yeah, I'm talking about you on the post. Yeah, I confronted you 101. Like, are you kidding me?
You're being disingenuous.
I am not. Yeah, you are.
You are, because in the last show, you were talking about my pet roaches as if okay. And you brought them up like 5 times, like they were guests on the show. And then and then in the last show, you said, I've heard you're still stalking me. Girl, right after you unblocked me, I blocked you. I haven't even seen you. I don't know what you're doing. So you just be making stuff up.
But y'all know
I don't, because I've made nothing up.
Hold on, Court.
To appear as some kind of victim to something.
I'm not a victim.
And it's just so fake. Like, come on. Like, let's just be real.
Wait. Hold on. But we just gonna walk away from the whole idea that The only time that Kim has smoke on this entire show so far is with Courtney agreeing with me.
Not one thing that she could say
And
that
she couldn't even name one thing
but
that she actually disagreed with as far as a point that she
But here's the thing, Anton. This is the sister code going to work. What we are witnessing now is the sister code. Because Kim cannot say anything that she disagrees with.
Courtney, let it go.
No, I'm not, because this is a teachable moment. Kim can't
so
say
who are
anything.
you teaching?
So
Why do you have the right to teach somebody?
So Anton, like a
girl, you won't believe. Can I talk to your mommy?
Pull up on me.
This is so funny. It's even funnier than when you did it an hour ago when I saw you.
Pull up on me.
Okay.
Pull up on me.
Can I speak to your mother?
Pull up on me.
I wonder why people don't want to hang out.
that was so
Hey, Kim.
Courtney, like,
okay.
what are your
I'm about over.
We gotta go on to the last topic, y'all.
Wait, JR, before you go, I got one question for Kim. Because you know I caught you. So I got a question. Do you dislike me? Do you like me? How do you feel?
This is how I feel. I think that you are different in person than you are on the show.
You met me in person?
No, this is just my opinion. I think
okay.
I've heard of a few things of how you are in person.
From who?
What?
From who? Oh. From Tawana?
No names. No names. I would say more than one person though. So take that how you want.
Was it women? Yeah.
Anton, do you do this thing where there's a conversation happening?
You're different even on your show.
But here's the thing though.
Is that a strategy?
But no, it's not a strategy. The thing is regardless of what people heard or hear, they never hear anything negative. That's the thing. They never hear anything that would disparage me or would paint me in a negative light or anything like that. So then I wonder, right? What is the pushback? Why, Kim, why don't you love me? You should adore me. No, real talk. Like, this is a one-on-one conversation. Hey, JR, can you move me to the middle so I can be next to Kim really quickly?
Why are you always trying to rearrange the time?
Hold on, because I want to have a conversation with her. Baby girl, you should love me. You should be adoring me. I mean, literally, like, I should be, and I said this before, I should be on your what is that poster board, that wish board that women would have, like, of the ideal guy. Like, I am everything. I am the guy that would see, and here's what I know for sure. No, real talk, JR. If you had a guy like me in your life, you wouldn't be this wound up. You wouldn't be tripping. You wouldn't be adopting these feminist narratives and all of this. You would be relaxed. You would be living your femininity. You would be in your purpose. And so I think you need my book. I'm gonna send you a copy of my book after the show, and we gonna get you right. I want you to be the best version of yourself. And this don't look good on you, baby girl. I mean, you got your hair done, you got everything going for you, but I'm gonna make sure you get right. All right. I got you. Honestly, don't worry. Hey, babe, relax.
I'm good and right.
JR, don't let her pride get the best of her. Let's keep it moving, fam.
Honestly, if you knew what I've been through in the last year, I'm good.
I know. That's why I know that. I could tell. I could see it in your face. You smiling, but it ain't on the inside out. It's on the outside. No, and you can't trick a G.
So what I've been through in the last year has nothing to do with men.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. This is the thing. You over talking. That don't look good on you. Just relax. Just chill out.
I'm
Let
relaxed.
it ride.
Just letting you know I'm good.
But, hey, Kim.
Yes.
JR, go ahead.
All right, you guys. If you just tuning in, welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. It's been a great show. Entertained? Are you not entertained? But really, you good?
Really, just quiet?
I'm chilling, man.
You pulling a K on us. This one.
Man, I'm super relaxed. I'm chilling. let y'all have that.
All right, you guys.
Hey, next week, Kim gonna be a different woman in the Facebook group. I tell you that. Let's go.
Anton, what's the name?
Girl, you won't believe.
On me.
Can I talk to your mommy?
Pull up on me.
This is so funny. It's even funnier than when you did it an hour ago when I saw you.
Pull up on me.
Okay.
Pull up on me.
Can I speak to your mother?
Pull up on me.
Do you wonder why people want to hang
All right, you guys, get them likes up, man. We're moving on to our last topic, and we're gonna try to see if we can get some people in. We're gonna try to see if we get some video calls in this week.
We love y'all. We love the audience. We love everybody in the comments. We rock with y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like for the YouTube algorithm, and make sure you share this platform and this video. We are the greatest show on earth, bar none. I don't care what they telling you. You put none of that. This is the greatest show on earth. We give y'all everything. We give y'all comic relief. We give y'all entertainment. We give y'all jewels. We give y'all talking points to carry y'all through the week. We love y'all. We rock with y'all. Let's go, fam.
We got that big coochie energy. Yeah, that shit is hilarious. Bro. When I first heard that shit, I'm like, damn, that shit is funny as hell. I see somebody in the comments say that big coochie energy. Man, really for the win on that one. All right, you guys, get them likes up. Moving on to our final topic, which is, what is the biggest disconnect between men and women? What's the biggest disconnect between men and women? I'm gonna start with you, Kay.
I think the biggest disconnect between men and women is the way that men and women are, the way they communicate, the way that men and women, the things that are acceptable for men growing up, the things that are acceptable for women growing up. I feel like men are taught to be unemotional and all of these types of things. Women, it's more acceptable to have emotions, but as we know, all humans have emotions. So like the disconnect comes in when men may not have the tools to understand certain emotions. Women may want certain emotions from men. And I feel like that causes a lot of issues between some men and some women. And I always hate when people say like men are not emotional and women are. Like, that's just not true. Everyone is emotional. Everyone has emotions. All humans do. Anton, I'm about to stop. Take those.
This ain't nothing but Cap. That's K went reset and then chose violence right back after that.
How, Anton?
Because nobody says that guys don't have emotions. We say don't lead with your emotions. That's the difference.
I mean, whatever the case may be, and people say, oh, testosterone, oh, estrogen, oh, whatever. But the thing is, humans have emotions, men or women. I don't think that I know for a fact that women aren't the only ones with emotions. So there's a disconnect because in our society, men are looked down upon if they express emotion in a certain way. So they feel like, oh, everything I do is logical, when really it's not. It's not. Women and men have logic. Women and men have emotion. So there's a disconnect based on the roles that people feel like they have to fit into within society. So that causes lots of issues that wouldn't necessarily exist if we could all just be honest about it and admit that everyone has emotions. Everyone.
Yo, audience, go to Lapeef.com, get your caps in honor of Kay. Right now, go to Lapeef.com, order your caps today. Kay is a sponsor of this program right now. Her narrative, everything she just said is all cap.
How's the cap? Anton, how's the cap? How's the cap? How's the cap, Anton? Answer that.
I want to let Chicago go first because I know.
No, Anton, you always do this.
No, honestly, I'm trying to because I know
you
Chicago,
did it before when we were about to talk with the Courtney situation.
Okay, I got all the smoke. I got all the smoke, and I will have it for
so
you.
tell me.
But
Listen,
I know that Chicago hasn't spoken in like 45 minutes, so I just want to make sure that he get his in because I respect what he's saying.
Don't act like Anton. Don't act like right now you care about being respectful of Chicago and his time.
I always am respectful of Chicago and his time. We disagree and see. Okay, I'm glad that you said that. And this is the difference. All right, since you want to
wait, hold on. Wait.
You don't want me to talk now? You don't want me to talk now? No,
I want you to tell me what the cap is.
I'm gonna go into that, but I don't want to talk about it right now. I want to make sure that Chicago can get his point in. I was about to go in a whole nother direction about women not understanding their place. We'll get to that. Go ahead, Chicago.
So what was the cap? What was the cap, Anton? Why are you dodging the question?
What makes you think I dodge anything, Kay?
Come on.
I'm trying to find out.
You want me to go? You want me to go into it? Well, number one, you capped about the whole idea of society having problems with men having emotions, and I corrected you, and then you went right back into it. Right? What you said was society at large have a problem with men having emotions because women have emotions and men have emotions. And then I corrected you and I said, yeah, everybody got emotions, but what society is trying to teach men is not to lead with their emotions. That was cap number one. Do you agree? Now you confused?
How is that cap though? Yeah. How is that cap?
That society, that is better for a man not to lead with his emotions instead of.
No, it's not leading with your emotions. You've never heard boys don't cry and all this type of stuff. You've never heard that?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so it's not about leading. It's not about
But what are they trying? What are they trying to teach them?
Itself.
But what are they trying to teach them when they say
they're
boys
trying
don't
to
cry?
teach them something that is not that's not a good thing.
You never thought about that, did you?
Yes,
never
I
thought
have.
about what they're what are they trying to teach them when they say boys don't cry?
They're trying to take away that emotional aspect in terms of boys, because it's not the same thing as, oh my goodness, someone is sitting around crying all the time, but they're saying don't cry. I've seen little boys fall and scrape their knees.
It's figurative, and what they're trying to teach them to a larger extent is how to lead and not to be overcome with their emotions as far as looking for other people to pacify them as a result of what they stumbled on. They're trying to teach them that. It ain't what I'm trying to. That's not what I think. That's what I know. That's the lesson behind the whole narrative of boys don't cry. And so what you find is women take that, right? They take that saying and they try to transform it into something that's not real, and that they're trying to make men more like women and women are trying to become more like men. And that's what's wrong with society. That's the disconnect between men and women, is that you won't acknowledge that we are different and we need different things in order to be successful. We need different things. We need different things in order to be able to lead society and lead our families in order to become the best version of ourselves, which ultimately leads into our best community. It all starts with the man. It does not start with the woman. And so when they say those things, they're enabling men to be more productive as a result of not leading with their emotions. That's the whole narrative behind the saying.
I get that. I do. I think that you're right.
Which means that you were capped.
No, it's not capped though.
Do you want me to keep going on what else you capped on?
No. I want to just address what you just said first. So don't. I get what you're saying, but I think that in terms of the whole boys don't cry thing, it leads to a lot of adult males who don't know how to process emotions other than anger, aggression, fear. And that's unhealthy. It is.
It's not true, because along with the whole idea of them teaching them boys don't cry, they also teach them self-control. They teach them how to control their emotions, how to channel their anger. That's the whole idea behind sports. It's the whole idea behind
sports are amazing.
that allow us to be aggressive, and that it's teaching us to channel our emotions and our feelings and the things that we would otherwise be overly aggressive towards each other with. This is a teachable moment. Like, this is a real teachable moment.
I'm not, Anton, me and you agree about a lot of things. I think we just say things in different ways. I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that that's not the case in a lot of society. Yes, some people are going by what you just said. I absolutely agree. I think that is for sure something that's happening, like, with the same mindset that you just explained. But in general, I think a lot of men, boys, whatever, have this thing where they feel like they're less of a man if they express certain emotions. And I'm saying that's a problem because they bottle them all up, and then it manifests later as something that could be harmful to themselves, others, etc. And I'm not saying like necessarily physically harmful, but just in general. It's okay for men to have emotions. Men do have emotions, although in society, many people think that the only acceptable emotions for a man are like anger and happiness. Like, you can be sad, you can be hurt, you can have these other emotions. But I think that a lot of people just assign these aggressive or angry emotions to men, and I don't think that's right. And I don't think that is even fair to men. I think it's an insult to men. Men are capable of experiencing a wide variety of emotions. It can't just be boiled down to a couple.
Which is exactly why men need their fathers in their life.
Absolutely. Men and women need their fathers and their mothers.
To get them away from this narrative, so that they can really become the men that they're supposed to be and the leaders that they were born to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think men and women, both boys
Coming
and
to you,
girls,
Chicago
need
Rilla.
fathers and mothers.
Chicago Rilla, what's the biggest disconnect between men and women?
Yeah, I actually was gonna take off on similar to what Anton was saying around this message of equality between men and women. Is the message that's being pushed that we're both equal, both genders are equal to one another. It's convoluting everything, right? So we can't embrace the differences in what for our original creation. Like, people are getting away from they role and purpose. What's the purpose when you bring men and women together? It's supposed to be yin and yang. It's supposed to be a balancing of the two. So the biggest disconnect that I see is all in the community. It's part in the communication, but that stems from the fact that people are not in their role and in their purpose. When you got the woman competing for power with men, and thinking that we're both equal, we're definitely not equal. Men and women are not equal. And as long as women think they're equal to men, we're going to continue to see this dysfunction in our community.
Okay. Courtney, what's the biggest disconnect between men and women?
Creation role. We're not in our roles of what we were created to be. And whenever you're not in what you were created to be, it's going to cause dysfunction and a disconnect. So men were created to be leaders who lead the home. Women were created to be wives, to be mothers, and to be a helpmate. So when you have a woman wanting to be a man or a man wanting to be a woman, that's going to be the complete disconnect. So again, I'm always going to go biblically, but yes, be in your creation roles. What did your creator create you to do and what you're made for? And again, once you start, well, I can do what men can, and well, I want my woman to run the house because she's good at it. That's going to be the biggest disconnect. We need to get back to what God intended.
Kim, what's the biggest disconnect between men and women?
I think it's understanding each other's perspectives, and understanding that we have different experiences and see things differently. I think, like, even in the group, for example, there's certain posts, like, for example, what submission looks like. I think that when a man says women should be submissive, I think women see that as something, that they don't want to do, something, I think the idea that women have of submission and the idea that men have of it are two different things. And I think there's other things that, like, women see things in a different way that men see them. And I think that's just perspective. I think that's the biggest disconnect.
Those are all some great points. I definitely appreciate it. Hey, you guys, we opening up the video chat. The link is in the bio right now. So on your way of hitting that thumbs up and subscribing and hitting that bell notification, hit that drop down arrow and click the link, and I'm gonna bring you on. Comments, questions, statements.
Hey, wait, hold on. Before you say that though, JR, when y'all trying to come on, if you've been watching the show for an extended period of time, if you're trying to go on, you need to refresh so that you can see the link, because we just put it in the description.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Go ahead, Kim. You got a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question for Courtney. She talked about women's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You named, I don't know, 3 things. Could you repeat that again? When you were talking about women's purpose, being a helpmate, you said like 3 different things. It was helpmate.
Yeah, as far as a helpmate, right? Helpmate to be a wife and to be a mother.
Do you think those are a woman's only purposes?
I think that's what you're created to be. Now, being a helpmate, that means you are under your husband. So if he's needing something for the house, meaning he needs you to work, then to help the household, then that's a good conversation. But again, that's you helping him lead. That's you helping him with his vision. If you have some things that you want to do, I definitely think if it works within the household, and again, your husband being the leader, then yeah. So those are conversations. So everything is, there's not an absolute, but your purpose is what you were created for. You're not created to be a career woman.
So what, Kim, you think that you like a partner? If you in a household, you think that it's like a partnership?
No, I was thinking more of there are purposes that women can have besides that. Speaking of someone that, isn't married, my purpose, I have many purposes that through becoming more spiritual in the last year that I have realized that I need to do. And
just spit it out, baby girl. Just be straight up.
With me being
you speaking vague. You speaking vague. You like, just say what you really mean. Mean what you say. Listen, I seen it come out of you. I seen your neck twist. I seen you practically snatching dreams out the air, and I seen it. Come on, just let loose. Become the real you.
No,
look at me. Wait. Look at me. Look up real quick. Okay, I like that. Be the real you. Just be the real you. Say what you really mean.
I'm saying that women can have many different purposes that are guided by God that may be outside of being in a marriage. That's what I was saying.
It's God over
you're
man.
talking about God.
It's God over man.
Yeah.
Hold on, Court.
Okay.
It's God over man, man over wife, woman over children. That's the order. And the minute we got out of order, this is where the disconnect came.
Okay. So there are fields, though, careers that are women dominated. So
that's cool.
Also, that's one point. What about sharing?
But they were mainly based off of the true nature of a woman. So, for example, as eloquently quoted by the Honorable Dr. Jordan Peterson, right? Women, even in societies where they try to make sure that more women became more STEM related and things like that, naturally navigated over into professions that were more suited to be more nurturing and caring. And that's why overwhelmingly they excel in fields such as
teachers,
doctors, nurses, things like that. So when you let society take its course and you don't try to course correct and live in a space where we're forcing things to be something that it's not, women naturally fall into a role of a nurturer, which is natural when it comes to the idea of the hierarchy of them being over children versus men that naturally excel in other things that are more suited to our likeness and the things that we're good at.
I agree with you.
I got some guests, y'all.
I was saying that in regards to a woman's purpose outside of being married. And another purpose, and I know you have some callers, but I share my testimony very often with people, and we would be here a lot longer than the time that I probably have to speak on that. But
don't worry, I'm gonna send you a copy of my book. I'm gonna coach you through it. We're gonna get you together. We're gonna put you in a good space, and I'm gonna make sure that you good. Kim, is it Kimberly or is it Kim?
It's Kimberly. Yes.
Okay, I figured that. You look like a Kim. I got you. Don't worry about it. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna get you together, baby girl.
I'm good. I'm good. But
no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You don't know what you don't know. You don't even know what you don't know. We got it. Come on, JR. Let's roll, boy.
Yeah, I'm about to bring up Jason. What's going on, Jason? How you doing?
Oh, Jason with no shoes on. I see you, Jason. Jason got his Eric Benet going on. I see you, fam. You use black soap or what? I see Jason over there.
I just want to give the platform some props, man. I appreciate, different perspectives all coming together, try to get a common point across, which is just furthering the community. But from a viewer perspective, you can definitely see the distinct difference between the two classifications of women in modern society. You can see Courtney, who's taken accountability and actually put in the work to change some of the ideologies that have been indoctrinated in our community and has accepted those flaws and made the change. And you can see.
Well,
is it on my end?
That's
it then.
It's on his end.
Okay.
That's his end. They don't have they don't have good internet connections in Tibet. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Let's go, Jason. Come on, Jason. Come through with it, baby. I heard you. You was talking that talk. Let's go, man.
Is the connection better now?
It's better, bro.
All right. So I was just basically saying you could distinctly see the two difference between the current women in our society, between how they choose to communicate on the platform. Courtney chooses to use elegance, class, and sophistication in her communication style, and Kay and Kim use combativeness to get their point across. And men will not receive combativeness in the conversation. I know I won't stand for it. So I just want to say thank you for the platform. I know the common goal is to further our people and keep putting in that work.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
I rock with you, Jason. I rock with you, fam. But I'm gonna need Jason. One thing. Next time you come on here, I want you to put some sleeves on. I don't want to see you with no sleeves on.
Call me right out the gym, man. I'm taking care of my.
I feel you.
Good.
I feel you, fam.
Like
You're my
that.
guy.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, bring somebody else up. Bring you up.
Yo, JR, maybe I need to just take a break and go get some. I see you. Okay, I see you, fam.
What's going on, Destin?
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Destin said, I'm working on them waves. I'm working on them waves.
Hey, DC, that's how we keep it, right? But I'm a big fan of the show. I believe y'all are moving society forward. Y'all are moving us as a community forward. I appreciate it because these conversations need to be had. They're more detrimental now with technology, with the hormone suicide rates going crazy. Future generations have nowhere else to look but tapping into information and being on platforms like this to where they can educate themselves in a way that their parents cannot teach them anything. Between 15 to 18, where can I go to learn about this girl or relationships, what marriage means? And honestly, if I would have learned all this stuff, my grandparents sat me down and they actually went through all of this stuff that you guys talk about every day, we will be at a better place now. But the millennials, we're going crazy right now, man. We don't know what's real or fake. The generational curses out here is going crazy. So I appreciate y'all for having these conversations. I kind of do want to ask this question, Anton. I definitely want you to tap in because, like me, I agree with Kevin Samuel 75%. I agree with him 75%. But I actually see the evolution of relationships and women getting to a point to where if we keep this current, society from Western civilization, from a viewpoint of, we're not going to wars. We're not fighting no more, right? This is a tech-dominated field. You can sit behind a computer, cyber. That's the field that I'm in. This is the new way to make money. So women could definitely take care of themselves. What are we going to have to give up realizing that women are not taking a back seat financially anymore.
Nothing.
So,
Not
nothing?
one thing. Nope. Not at all. Because
'cause
women
I
naturally align themselves with men that are on their purpose by default. It will always be that way. It's never going to change. So I ain't giving up nothing.
Do you think that our purpose is evolving to another point to where it can allow a woman to kind of move into that role to where we see them? That's okay. I'll give you a little more room, but okay.
Room to do what? That don't mean, listen. We've always valued women. We've always valued women since the beginning of the time. It's the whole reason why the chessboard is set up the way. If you look at the chessboard, it's literally a depiction of the power structure within history. The church, women, men. It's the reason why the pieces move a certain type of way. Why the king moves one piece each and every way. But if the king falls, the kingdom falls. However, the woman has the most power as far as being able to move on the chessboard. What that tells you is that throughout history, women have played a significant role, especially when you consider how intelligent they are. Often at times, women are considered much more intelligent than we are, especially at earlier ages. However, the power structure and the dynamic will always fall behind men. So what I'm saying is, since the earliest times, we have always understood the level of intelligence that women have. It does not change the power structure at all.
Yes, I believe we relied on the woman's emotional intelligence, which y'all just tapped in on, right? The women that what's their famous saying? We have intuition. Intuition comes from emotional intelligence that men do lack because we were told, I'm not going to allow you to grow in that space. Like you correlated to chess or made that, correlation. I don't believe we're playing chess anymore. I believe ever since crack, the game just did like this. There is no more game. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, after crack, the game went like this. There is no more game. Y'all go figure it out.
You're wrong, bro. You're wrong.
I don't agree.
You're wrong. Any man that's on his game and on his purpose understands the value of women, but also first understand that his entire existence, the structure of the family, the success. Because again, even if you look in society today, as technologically advanced as we are, there will always be a woman with a healthy desire for men. But the problem is women always date up instead of always being able to identify exactly what she can really get. So because women are hypergamous, they always going to want something better than them. And this is why you see women asking for the top 10% of men, and they've made so many strides in society. Well, what they're going to get is nothing. They're going to have to settle eventually or die alone. Right. Nothing has changed.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening. I greatly enjoy the show. I thank you for the converse. I'm definitely starting my own thing up, and I want to tap into a different avenue. But these conversations are definitely needed. Thank you, Courtney. Absolutely. Beautiful elegance. There should be the way you're sitting right now should be a class of young girls to just the what? Come on, Anton. The posture that she has right now when she talks, it should be a class because that
Courtney loves me.
That demands
Kay loves me. Courtney loves me. Kim gonna learn to love me.
For women, Kay is
ain't
very
that right?
intelligent.
Kim, look at her smile.
Kay is very intelligent. Are you an Aquarian, Kay? Are you an Aquarian?
He's shooting his shot.
Okay. She's very intelligent. I appreciate what she brings. I trust me, I really do, and everything is needed. Chicago Rilla, late for sticking in there, my brother. Lapeef,
we love Chicago. We love Chicago. That's our dog.
We need a sermon. We need a sermon every show. Man. We need a sermon. Appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Hey, JR, before you bring the next guest up, let me just say that Chicago needs to be celebrated, yo. We don't give enough credit to people simply because they may not necessarily have the loudest voices because I understand that my voice is very loud. But I just want to shout out Chicago. He hold down a Facebook group. He's always willing to have an uncomfortable conversation. He's always willing to stand 10 toes down, even though he know it may not be the popular thing to do as far as his perspective towards something else. But it furthers the conversation, and it continues to be a fruitful thing that goes along with what it is that we're trying to do on a platform in addition to entertaining. So I just want to give Chicago a shout out. I know y'all be trying to kill him in the comments when he say certain things, but Chicago is dope. We rock with him, and that's my dog. So as much as I may go after him and try to kill him on certain things, at the end of the day, the dude is valuable. He is dope. I just want to say that.
Yay.
Like I said, that lead never follow. I hear that.
I like that. We love you, brother.
I'll bring you on, Mr. Checkmate. Going on, brother. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing good, man. Anton, man, what's good? I finally got my haircut.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, fam.
So, I want to touch on what the last guy said. He looked like he was a little younger than I was. I'm about 39. We still playing chess. After MLK fell in 69 and X fell in 66, the 70s hit, crack hit, rap hit. A lot of stuff hit black men pretty hard. So no, we're still playing chess out here, regardless. It's first progress we made in about 50 years. Let's move past that.
I agree 100%.
We're not equal, and I don't understand why we really can't get women to grasp that we have different sport leagues for a reason. Like, it's real simple. You're not as strong, you're not as fast. I've always adored women for their elegance, their intelligence, their insight. But again, I'm going to hit back at the younger brother, no disrespect. I put up a status about 2 days ago. It hit about 100 reactions, about 20 shares, mostly women. A man with a big purpose will not date a weak spiritual woman. We have our own version of intuition, and it does not get talked about at all. So I want to make that very clear. We are not equal, but we have our own talents. We are, make sure I use the word correctly. It just slipped. We are finite thinkers, and I think that's the biggest point I want to add to K version of communication. We thinking A, B, C. They thinking, look, it's not receiving on the same wavelength. Every time we try to make a finite point to them, it gets hit with emotions, and that's why we get irritated. We can say, look, man, it take $5 to buy that item. They like, well, my emotions gonna buy that item. And we like, look, we can't pay no bills with that.
You ain't lying.
Reality.
You ain't lying.
So, man,
you're right, bro. I agree.
I definitely want to have some talks about when it come back to the men. I definitely want to have some talks about black men. About the ideal of fixing the culture and how we really don't want to deal with just the ideal of it. Especially with our generation coming after us. They going in circles. So I do agree with the young brother there. But that's all I got, man. Love the show. JR, man, I'm going to need your beer regimen.
I got you, man.
Chicago, man, ain't mean nothing about a comment, but you set yourself up, man. Keep setting yourself up.
What was the comment? I ain't even.
I shared it, man. It was pretty long, man, about those who said can't be done should interrupt those who are doing.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, man. You know, man, I love you on the show, man, but you definitely weakened your own position in that.
Okay.
No, I'm saying, appreciate Courtney. Joe, Kay, Gordon.
Hey, we rock with you, fam.
I'm never agreeing with your points, but it's good to hear your voice.
All right, man. We appreciate you, Mr. Checkmate. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
All right. I'll bring up our favorite, all platforms, man. E-Black.
E-Black. I knew.
What up, E?
Well, he holding it down in the comments, telling them to get them likes up.
Man, what's good with
you? Own it. Go ahead, get the folks out the way, Blizzy.
What's up, big coochie energy, man? You know, I love seeing y'all here. I'm glad y'all opened up to the face because some of y'all need to see this magnificent darkness right here. You know what I mean? But you know, I wanted to talk about, you know, why there's a disconnect. You know, the disconnect is people are afraid of their order. You know, women are scared to be in their order, and men are scared to be in their order, and that's the disconnect because you're not able to forward fast move society along You know, you have to be able to. You definitely just have to be able to present yourself in a good manner and to take care of your woman, and your woman take care of your man, and that's the benefit. When you don't have that order, you're just not going to create a good society.
So we talk a lot about women being out of order. You said the men are afraid to be in their order. Why are men?
Because men are just scared to sit here and say, you know, I'm gonna take care of my seed. I'm gonna sacrifice for the betterment of my future. I'm gonna sacrifice for what is necessary. I'm gonna do the things that are necessary for my purpose. You know, and when you don't do that, then you're scared because you think that you're gonna be missing out on coochie and stuff. You know what I mean?
What?
Hold on, y'all see my wave pattern though? Come on now.
You see that spot in the top of your head? What is that?
Oh, right here? That's my wisdom peak. That's my wisdom peak right here. But
that look like you dropped the Clippers.
Nah, man. Look, man.
You my gato, E. You my gato.
Yeah, I pulled the hoodie out. Usually I'll be pressing something nice and dapper, but you know, I decided to. If we gonna go first, Cam, I'm gonna bring the smoke with me.
You don't want that. That's a bad look. And I'm trying to look. Listen, Kim is looking at me. Look at her. We gonna turn towards each other. Kim is looking at me.
Kim, let's be real. Kim got some issues. Some. Kim got some real subconscious issues, man. You know, you don't have to overcompensate. We know we love you, sister, but you don't have to overcompensate. You know.
Goodness.
He's crazy.
Y'all thought I was different on the phone. Oh. But yeah, man, you know, like I said, just men and women need to just like, don't be afraid of that order, man. Don't be afraid to sacrifice, man. You know.
All right, D Black. I'm gonna try to get some more people in here. Yeah, he's funny, man. All right, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'll bring on what's going on, Sean Antonio. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm good. What's good, fam?
What's going on, homie?
Kim is my homie. What's up, y'all? Hey, real talk, Anton, I'll holler at you on Instagram too, man. Big fan of everything you talk about.
Thanks, man.
Look, I wanted to talk about accountability a little bit. I think one of the biggest issues, so I've always worked in the community. One of the biggest issues in the community is, as it relates to crime and things like that, is that black men don't hold black men accountable as it relates to that, right? So if you really think about it, right? So for me, running programs and projects and things like that, coming from that background where it's just like everything was illegal and violent, I've always been able to talk to the little niggas that people, let me not curse on here. I've always been able to talk to the kids that shoot people and things like that because I had a similar background and things like that. Mm-hmm. So in that respect, I think it's always on black men to hold one another accountable and to lead the young guys, right? So in that same vein, based upon that same premise, I think it's really important for women to hold women accountable for their actions, period. Because if you can agree that black men should be the protectors and should work to keep the little guys from kicking indoors and things like that, you should be able to extend that premise to say that women should hold one another accountable and do what it takes to keep men and women in alignment. And that's all I got to say, man. I rock with y'all.
I agree with you, fam. I don't disagree with one thing you said.
And really, wild hundreds in here, man.
Oh man, you from the hundreds?
Oh yeah, Morgan Park.
What's up, man?
Yeah, you know the vibes.
Yeah, we in here.
Hey, we appreciate you for doing all of your work in the community too, fam.
Nah, I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Hey, my thing is I don't care about politicians. I don't care about the police. It's about us.
Yep.
If you ain't man enough to go out there and tell Shawty, hey, check it out. You know what I'm saying? If you're walking down the road somewhere else to get him to do something different, then you're not a man and you don't want to hear none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
Yeah.
We celebrate you, fam. We appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all, man. Just wanted to tap in with y'all, man.
All right. Next time. Appreciate your support.
All right, bro.
That was good. It was positive.
Yo, dudes like that is the perfect example of what Rilla and I was talking about last week, as far as like guys on their purpose, and they should be celebrated and highlighted, because everybody is not like, everybody don't have to have $1 million. Everybody don't necessarily have to have a platform or anything like that, but everybody that's living in a purpose, they're meaningful and they actually move so many things forward in a positive manner, and they should be celebrated just as much when we get an opportunity as the people that we celebrate as celebrities or whatever like that. Like, it's not just the people that's in your face, it's the people that's behind the scenes doing the work. We rock with those type of people.
Hey man, real quick for my man Sean Antonio, man, hit me on IG so I can link up with you, bro, for whatever work you're doing in the hood over there in Morgan Park, man. Put a THE in front of that Chicago Real and hit me on IG, bro, so we can link up.
All right, I'm gonna bring on a couple more people and then we're gonna conclude the show. Sniper, I'm gonna bring you on, but you gotta come on camera. I'm coming to you, Martinez Jackson. Welcome to the show.
What up?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
What's the word?
What's happening, fam?
It was good.
Damn, dumbing out in the Facebook group, man.
Oh, I know.
Like you. Yeah, you dumbing out in the Facebook group. I see you.
Yeah, you know. But just want to make sure first. Can you guys hear me first?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I just wanted to really comment on the situation where you were saying what's the difference between men and the women. And me personally, I feel like the difference doesn't really have anything to do with like relationship wise. It's a prime example of stuff like this. Like you have Lapeef, you have Anton, you have Kevin Samuels, you have Alpha Male Strategies, you have Media and Reviews, you have all these guys who have their own platforms that not only are they discussing the differences in between as far as how women feel and how women are reacting to us, but these same platforms are also talking to men and telling men what it is that they need to do. It's like women, you guys don't have you don't have a person who has a platform to be able to tell you to say, hey, this is as women what it is we need to do. You guys don't have that platform. Men understand that men of great value and great presence can teach other men how to be great.
So Martinez, let me ask you a question, fam.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you honestly think that, let's say they had a woman, let's say a Courtney, for example, right? Let's use Courtney because she's right in front of us. Let's say Courtney had a platform where she was having these conversations, these honest conversations, in the same way that me and all of these other type of people that you've named are having. Do you think that she would be supported by women in the same way that men support these platforms? Or do you think that her support would come primarily from other men?
Well, first off, her support will come primarily from men, because men will get the understanding that there's actually a woman out here who understands the disagreements and the situations that they are handling, trying to be the best that they can be for women, preferably Black women. But I do honestly feel in the same presence that with more of the topic being discussed, the more women will come around. Because
I don't think so, bro. I honestly, in my honest opinion, I think that women will come around to hate. I mean, think about it. The minute that, what is her name? Ayanna Van Zant said that women are out of control, she was public enemy number one with women.
True.
Men was like, you know what? Let's listen to her. Let's pay attention to what she's saying. Women, on the other hand, was like, I knew it. And it was on her head immediately, bro.
But see, that comes back to what I just said in the beginning to make the point, which is it really doesn't have anything to do with a marriage or relationship in regards to men and women. It's the fact that men understand that if we have a man of great value and great presence in our aura, who's able to take the time out of their presence to teach us how to be great and how to be better, we sponge into that. We pay attention to that. But The lack of the fact
But
that
we have our support system. We have a group of guys out here that's putting the work in both behind the scenes and visibly. It ain't the men that we need to be. I mean, you know, we need to do our own work, but we doing the work to a larger extent. It's the women that need a voice that they can identify with, that not only looks like us, but also looks like them. And I don't think that that's coming. I can't see it. I just don't see them being able to even have thick enough skin to be able to even be objective enough to look at somebody and take some of the points that they say and embrace it.
But what I will say to what you just said, Anton, and by the way, let me just say this. I really mess with you hard, man, because I do enjoy listening to men who live in reality. I enjoy it because at the end of the day, we need enough men who live in reality because the fairy tales are getting out of hand. So it's like we need enough men who live in reality. But what I will say is that it's hard for the women to be able to have the position of those platforms when you already have the women out here who have those platforms, and those platforms they're using to give negative energy. So it's tough for a woman who actually gives the positive energy to say, hey, this is what we need to do as women. They're not going to be able to comprehend because you've had women who had these platforms for so long who told them you can go date another race of women, or you can manipulate and you can lie to a man to get what it is that you want. You have those platforms where those women are telling you that, when you actually have a woman who's telling you, hey, it's okay to be a woman. You're going to get the backlash that you get. But I just feel like if you just keep on trying and you keep on knocking at it, eventually you're going to knock a couple doors down. It may take some time, but you're going to knock some doors down in regards to that. And before I go, I just wanted to mention like one more thing here, which is I was looking at the podcast and everything from the beginning of the show, and I really didn't understand how was it that the entire panel can agree that the 7-year-old son would be able to get the steak. But when everybody was asked why he would be able to get the steak, only 2 people really understood why he would be able to get the steak.
That's where you're wrong. They all understand. They just unwilling to admit and to play along and to actually say the real reason why.
And that's the one thing that I enjoyed the show, but it's like when the real questions get asked, it's like it's a lot of dancing around the questions. And it's like we can't get to where it is we want to be if everybody's going to dance around the questions. If you're going to be on the platform, answer the questions how you feel you want to ask them. Whether if it's somebody you don't agree with or somebody they do agree with, just answer the question. Because it's like I felt like listening to everybody's response. I'm like, why is everybody dancing around that question? It's an easy question to answer, but yet, and I tend to see that a lot in the past few weeks of the show, that there's a lot of dancing around the questions that are being asked. And it's like, we're not going to be able to get anywhere as far as this platform with the both of us, men and women, if we only got 2 people on the platform who are willing to answer the questions in a reality base. And everybody else just dances. We're not going to get nowhere.
Yeah, I agree.
We definitely appreciate it. I got to bring on a couple more people real quick so we get up out of here. Though. We definitely appreciate the support, Martina S. Jackson.
Thank you.
Next time. All right, bring up this. Where you go? What's going on, brother? How you doing?
What's going on, everyone? I appreciate you bringing me on the platform, man. I love what y'all doing completely.
What's going on, fam?
Can you hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, no, you good. You good. I was just speaking, saying what up, though.
Hey, man, shout out to all of y'all from Chicago. I'm from Chicago out west. I'm currently in Aurora right now. So for those of y'all in Chicago, I'm sure y'all know where that's at.
Yeah.
Man, y'all had me write down some stuff. Everybody that was speaking. So I'm gonna be as quick as possible. I'm not gonna be long, I promise. And if I do, cut me off because I know how this goes. So a few things, man. Again, I love all the perspectives. Perspectives is good, but the biggest problem why we failing as a community, so-called Black people, because when there is no standard, there's chaos. When there is no standard, there's chaos. Y'all heard Kevin bring up the numbers about how the dollar circulates for less than 6 hours in our community, right? In other communities, 15 days, 20 days, 25 days. We had a moment where we circulated 100 days before Black Wall Street, but we lost our standard. We lost our standard. You look at all the other communities, they have a structure, they have order. But us, we have been moved into an independent state. Everybody's so independent. And we lost the value of knowing our role. It's funny how when we think of jobs, if you don't have your own business or you're not your own boss, we would easily submit. That word submissive, we submit to the authority in these jobs. But the only place that is no structure or order is in the home. That's the only place that we don't want to submit. And I think women need to understand that everybody is actually submitting. The man that's going out there doing his job, he's submitting to his family by bringing in, income, lessons, things, structure of that nature. Another thing I wanted to bring out too, you all went into the word love. And is, I think that I agree with Courtney when she was bringing out not going to Webster so much, because although Webster is modern society definition, you look up the word nice. I'm sure some of you know about the word nice in the 13th century, 15th century. It actually meant foolish, stupid, ignorant. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you need to go into what their word was originally, what it came from. That's the standard I'm talking about. We went into intuition. Have women have so much more intuition than men? I'm one of the people that when I teach on balance. And I believe men and women have an equal sense of intuition or in anything we speak of. I'm going to tell you what I mean. For those that go off the scriptures, the prophets, they had to have intuition. They was led a certain type of way. You had men and women. It was women prophets too, prophetess. And they both was equally had a level of it. I'll give one other example. It's a teaching that children learn languages faster than adults. But you all spoke on context though. It's context behind that. It's a reason they learn faster. It was a study that they had an adult and a younger child that they took a certain amount of days to where it was no stress, no husband, wife, no responsibility, things of that nature. And the adult actually learned languages quicker. Why? Because there was no stress, it was no responsibility, that's context behind it. I think we lack a lot of things in our culture because we lack context and we lack standard. When there is no standard, there's chaos. When there is no roles, there's chaos. And the last thing I'm gonna say is, for all the women out there, all the men out there, man, I think we need to understand and don't be afraid of roles. Don't be afraid of submissions, because outside of home, we're not afraid of it when we're working for somebody else. We're not afraid of it when we're in front of the police. I ain't gonna get into police and all that stuff. But we understand that. But when it's the home, we don't. And I understand it's because of conditioning. I understand it's because of slavery. I understand it's because of all of that. But it's 2021. It's 2021 now. We really, if we desire to do it, we can change it. But the problem is we don't like standard and we don't want to change it. And with that, I yield.
Yo, that's dope, fam.
That's
We
good.
rock with you. We appreciate you, bro.
That was good stuff.
Appreciate y'all. Shalom.
Thank
All right,
you.
y'all. It's gonna be in for the calls for the night, man. We're gonna go ahead and conclude this show. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get everybody up there, everybody reaching out saying they want to get on, but next time we got plenty shows to do. What happened?
What happened with what?
Oh, okay. I saw somebody drop out. I thought one of y'all dropped out. Like, damn, I'm like, what the hell happened? I ain't in the show yet.
I gotta go.
I feel like it's an extended conversation I need to have with the ladies on this panel, but no worries. Do your thing.
All right, y'all.
She know who I'm talking to. That's why she's smiling.
Who?
You can't even listen. It's okay. You can't stop yourself from smiling. It's okay. We get it.
I'm smiling.
I know. I love you too, Kay.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in tonight to Lapeef Let's Talk. I definitely appreciate the panel. Appreciate you, Kim. It's been great conversations. Hopefully we was able to bring some value. I'm pretty sure we reached some people, if not most people. But we got a lot of work to do. We're gonna keep bringing that heat. This is the greatest show on earth. There's no cap on that one. So until next time, y'all, we out. We kind of get those like the Miley vibes right now. All right, y'all.
Thank you.
don't care. I don't care. Oh, really? Look at you. You mad. You big man. Come on.
Let's just have the conversation.
Oh, really? What? Oh, what? What? Oh, what? Oh, really? What? Oh, really? What? Oh, really? What? 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 Oh, really? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Look at you. You mad. You big man.
I don't care. What? Oh, real? I don't care.
Let's just have the conversation.
Got really with that big coochie energy. That big coochie energy. All right, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here. Definitely appreciate y'all tuning into the show tonight. Hopefully it was a great show for you guys. If not, that's why I'll come back next week and may be better. Make sure you guys hit the like buttons when you guys come on. Subscribe to the channel. Also share. Go back and watch some of our other videos. We got a lot of valuable content on the platform. If they ain't heard about us, they gonna hear about us. That's real talk, no cap. Greatest show on earth. Until next time, y'all. I'm out.